Watch for your chance to get postseason tickets, and congratulations to your hometown Gulls, who will play in the postseason again this year. Ladies and gentlemen, behind home plate, we've got a very special Gulls guest with Sylvan in our promo team. Help me welcome from Left Court Minor Baseball, tonight's Sylvan Slugger. This is Ewan.
Summer lingers in the air, in the sound, open skies, worn boots, one more night before it's gone. Gulls summer send-off.
The Gulls take game one.
And he's looking for the strikeout to put an exclamation point on this series, and he does.
And for the first time in franchise history, the Sylvan Lake Gulls head to the WCBL championship. There will be a new WCBL champion this season. That's got a chance.
Or a home
Where
run.
is it going?
Good
is it
night.
not enough? Yes, it does. Marcus Abelhosen with the walk-off homer.
The Sylvan Lake Gulls have got the dog off their back. They are headed to the WCBL championship final with an 8-4 win.
A quick 15-hour turnaround from a nail-biting finish here at Gulls Field. We'll see two powerhouse teams duke it out in a rematch on this beautiful Sunday. Good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome in to the Gulls pregame show right here on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. Great to have you joining us in the Gulls Nest, and great to have this guy back in the nest with me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jim Claggett, and I'm Cale Clark, getting ready to set you up for this game between the Berries and the Gulls. Well, Jim, first and foremost, welcome back to the Gulls Nest.
Oh, first time, eh? Brand new.
You know, something's
You
going to
got to
happen.
hit the button.
It's okay.
I'm on a day pass from the home, and so here we go. Grandpa's gone for a little walk now, so. But yes, thank you very much. I much appreciate it. This is awesome. They say you can't go home. But this feels an awful lot like home right now. So thank you very much, guys. And I'm looking forward to a really good game against two unbelievably good ball teams that have always been
Yes.
very good ball teams.
And it's two of the newest teams to enter this league as well. And Jim, for those that aren't watching that don't maybe know who Jim has been the play-by-play voice of the Gulls since day one, and he is coming out of retirement for a day to join us here on Sunday afternoon. Great game last night, though, and fight between both these teams as the Gulls almost pulled off one of the biggest comebacks we have ever seen here at Gulls Field, being down 5 runs and taking it into extra innings, but just couldn't quite finish the job. We spoke with Jaden Flores in the postgame show down on the field, and he said they need to get the bats going early because, as you know, Jim, chasing a game all day or night won't really give you the best odds of coming away with a W.
No, and from what I've noticed from this team, following them as I have from afar, is that they've got a lot of offense, but they have to keep the other team off the scoreboard, and that's probably the biggest check mark that they have to put in that box right now, is keeping that team, which is very talented, off the scoreboard as long as they can.
Well, this is the guy that they're going to turn to just maybe do just that, to kind of give the Gulls a good start. Mason Little will get his 4th start of the season on the mound for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. 3-2 record, a 5.31 ERA. He's just got over 20 innings of work, 24 strikeouts, just walking 7 batters and giving up 14 hits. Good numbers there for Mr. Mason Little. And this is who he's going to face, Jim.
This is who he's going to face. Brock Laird is second baseman. He's going to lead things off. Ethan Murdoch, I remember his name, left fielder. And Mason Roll, he's the designated hitter tonight. Right fielder, guy batting cleanup, Gail Salinas. So we think he's going to have some pop in his bat because he's batting 4th. But then you never know with lineups these days, do you? Yeah. Josh Henson, first baseman, and Nathan Houston playing short. Nick Cote is the 3rd baseman. Aiden Marion will be catching the pitches for the Berries tonight, and Nash Nichols is their center fielder. He'll be batting cleanup. But as you pointed out, Mason Little throwing for the Gulls tonight, or this afternoon. That should be a good one. I've seen Mason pitch before, and he's intense.
Yeah, and there's some good defense behind him. Elijah Hamill, Dom Juicy, Michael Quick in the outfield. Cleary Simpson will step back in at 3rd after a night off last night. Jaden Flores at short. Maddox Shaver also with a night off last night coming back in. Coleman Perry and Eli Duncan. So this is an infield and a field that, you know, the Sylvan Lake Gulls can rotate in and out, and they give a lot of guys some breaks, and they got guys that can fill in these roles just as well. Not a lot of guys play consecutive games back-to-back because they have the depth with this fielding for the Sylvan Lake Gulls team. So, Mason Little and the Sylvan Lake Gulls looking for a much better start than what they had here last night against the Saskatoon Berries. Berries got off to a great start. It took just to the second inning to put up 5 runs that kind of really led things the rest of the evening and kind of blew things apart a little bit for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. But as we know from last night, Sylvan Lake clawed their way back, making it very interesting in the late stages.
Well, here we go. Brock Laird will lead things off for the Berries, and the first pitch in is inside for a ball from Mason Little. Rob Allen is your home plate umpire today. Don Buskus over at first, and the third base umpire tonight, or this afternoon, Marcel Rosetto. This is out to Elijah Hamill, and he tracks it down. No, that's not Elijah. That is Dominic Giusti. Okay. I'm so used to Eli.
Yes.
Elijah
Hamill does usually play center field sometimes, but with Dom Giusti this year, they have sent him in, and he's done a terrific job out in center field.
And that's one of the things the Gulls have had over the years that I've been doing this, is a center fielder that can track down those balls that are in the gap and the deep ones that are shot maybe a little deeper than they wanted. Well, this is the left fielder, Ethan Murdoch. He'll step in now to face Mason Little with one down here, just underway. And the first pitch to him was a strike. Pitch number 2, they're going to check down to first base, and Don Buskus says, no, he did not go. 1-1 the count now.
Murdoch had a good game last night. He went 1 for 4. I mean, more maybe the quieter games that he's had with that bat. He got on base, though, with a couple walks. And he, of course, leads this team and is among the top leaders in the league with RBIs at 55 and 14 home runs as well. So he's got a hot bat, and Cleary Simpson knows him personally as well from playing together.
That's right. And a strikeout there for Mason Little, as he has Murdoch swinging at some off-speed stuff. And there it is right there. A nice drop off the table for Mason Little. That was a nice pitch. Ethan Murdoch, I remember him from last year.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, was he not a rookie last year? I think he was one of, well, maybe I probably am mistaken. I haven't forgot that part. just how to be mistaken.
Yeah, well, he's sure definitely not playing like a rookie this year. That is for sure. The guy has had a season with the Berries, and of course, you know, filling in nicely now that Carter Beck is no longer with the organization, signing a pro deal in the Frontier League.
That's
you
so
know,
cool.
They don't look at Murdoch and like, all right, you're the next guy, you're the leader now, and obviously, so is Gail Salinas, who is on deck.
And quickly, Mason Little is up 0-2 on the number 3 hitter, the designated hitter this afternoon for the Saskatoon Berries, Mason Ruel. Beautiful afternoon.
Sure is.
Good to be at the ballpark.
Yeah, great to have you back.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I'm going to be giddy all afternoon, I'm sure. And as it's just fouled off to stay alive, the count remains 0-2. And once again, the good crowds always on a Sunday afternoon at a lake with sunshine, temperatures in the mid-20s.
Climbing as the day goes on.
And what's that for our American viewers? 20, 40, about 75, 80 degrees maybe?
You would know. You would know better than me.
Oh, he stays alive, fouling that one off. And the count remains 0-2. So I think this is an important strikeout or an out for the Gulls in this first inning to keep the Berries off the board right away. Don't let them get anything going in his first few innings. And he is having quite an at-bat here. I think that's about 7 pitches. He's 4 that he's fouled off.
Yeah, you couldn't be more right, Jim. I mean, this is a Saskatoon Berries team that we saw last night here at Gulls Field that have really done a good job as far as, you know, putting some damage in play. And, you know, they get those bats rolling, and it's almost hard to stop when they get going. So here's a pretty well-hit ball to center field for Dom Juicy.
Oh,
what
my
a catch.
goodness.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and that's why he's in center field, right?
That is why.
That is an incredible catch by Dom Juicy. That is amazing. Well, okay.
Well, we saw Jaden Flores lay one out last night in the infield. Dom Juicy says, I'll pick up from where that left off, and he's got the old flappy bird wings as he runs in. What a play. We will head into the bottom of the first inning next. You're watching Gulls baseball right here on FloCollege.
Summer lingers in the air, in the sound, open skies, worn boots, one more night before it's gone. Gulls summer send off.
Well, there's number 30, Adam Corte from Moonster, Saskatchewan. I might have said that wrong. I apologize if I have. But 3-0 record. He's got 2 starts and a 4.28 ERA with just over 27 innings of work, 29 hits, 19 strikeouts, and 8 walks. They're going to look to get some solid pitching out of him to start the afternoon, you know, try to take a clean sweep over the Sylvan Lake Gulls. But the batting has started to figure things out as the game went on last night, and Jaden Flores will lead things off, of course, with clutch Clary Simpson at the number 2 spot, Elijah Hamill in the number 3, and then Dom Juicy, who just made that incredible Superman-like catch out in center field, will round out the batting order.
I recognize a few of those names. That Clary Simpson kid, he's pretty good.
Yeah, and Hunter Durr's going to make his home debut here at Gulls Field today with DH hitting.
Okay.
So that'll be fun to see what he's got in store for us this afternoon. We take a look at the outfield, though, and this is pretty familiar territory as well, Jim.
Yep, Ethan Murdoch, Nash Nichols, and Gail Salinas are your outfielders from left to right. Nick Cote, Nathan Houston, Brock Laird, and Josh Henson are your infielders. Adam Corte on the mound, throwing to Aiden Marion. As we get underway here, leading things off, Jaden Flores. He takes that first pitch inside for a strike.
Now, he was our EG Auctions player of the game yesterday, and he may have not necessarily done all the great things with the bat. He, still, but the thing is, what he did is he got on base. And he got a couple walks, and he came around to score twice as well. And then defensively, made some incredible catches. He made a Superman catch between second and first. That was a critical catch at that point, because that was what kind of kept the Gulls tied heading into the ninth inning. So he made a great grab over at second.
Timely.
And of course, some timely double plays that he also started as well.
I remember the first time he came up here, he was playing third base, and he got a ball hit to him, and he just fired this, but it was way over the first baseman's head.
Yeah, he got the adrenaline running through him.
Strong arm, but he needs to, and then after that, everything was like a bullet going down to from third base over to first kind of thing. So
one heck of a memory you got. I kind of almost forgot about that, but yeah.
Well, no, I'm just counting that you don't remember it, so I can just say it and you go, oh yeah, I remember that.
I do remember that. That's right. You had a ball hit right to him at third, and he fired it a mile above the first baseman's head. Yeah. But it was a rocket, like you said. You could tell he had the first game jitters, maybe.
I think it was. I think it was. But then he really settled down.
He did, yes.
He really settled down. So, full count on the leadoff hitter, the shortstop, Jaden Flores, with Cleary Simpson on deck. Oh, and I think Jaden just drew himself a walk. Whether by hit or by ball, either way, the Gulls have got their leadoff guy on base.
And like I said, he just picks up from where he left off, and we got another new camera angle, Jim. This is something that we brought in last night.
Oh, wow.
As we get a little bit of a sight in the face of the batter. But, yeah, that's just what, Flores has done last night, getting on base and giving his team a chance to really come around to score and, put in some runs and manufacture some really good runs as well. This is probably a number that you're not used to seeing. Cleary Simpson wearing number 20 and not number 21.
That's it. I looked at that and I went, as long as I know the name,
yeah.
I don't recognize the number, but I like these new uniforms, by the way.
These are the 80s night uniforms that they pulled out and they debuted this season, and
cool.
They are definitely a little flashy, and it kind of brings you back to almost a Miami Vice type style outfit. And I know the players like it, the coaches love it. And the boys loved the Hawaiian-themed jerseys last night because it was the Hawaiian night last night.
That's right, I missed that.
All weekend they're showing the Berries their style with their uniforms, because we know what the Saskatoon Berries have in store as far as what they put together for marketing and their jerseys and their colors. They always have some really nice, fun little outfits that they wear as well.
That's right.
Jerseys and everything like that.
You know what? This is down low, 2-1 the count on Simpson. What this kind of signifies to me is that the WCBL is. It used to be they were shouting, "Hey, we're right here." Now they're just saying it with some emphasis, like, "You noticed us, and we're going to pay you back for noticing us by doing the right things all the time," and that means giving the fans the entertainment that they need and that they come to a ballpark for.
Well, Jim, you and I have seen the development of this league over the past 6 years now, and it has developed significantly. I mean, you got more guys getting drafted into the Major League Baseball, and, things like that have really just significant, very, very significant, and, really put a spot on the map for baseball in Canada.
And I think one things we have to do, 3-1 the count here on Simpson, he fouls that back to make the count full. One thing that we have to acknowledge is not only the players that have come up here and made this league what it is, but the coaches from all around North America that have come up here and helped this league take many, many steps forward. And that the coaches at these college teams trusting this league to do the right thing with their players and send them back as better ball players and better human beings, as from what we've learned. From dealing with the Gulls players at least, and even some of the guys on the other team.
And we've also learned that it brings the players back to their original teams here in the summer as well. We've seen it with Tyler McWillie. We see it with Ben Prediger. We see it with Cleary Simpson, Kyle Freilich. Guys are coming back.
That's right. Well, Matty Fung said it when I just ran into him.
Yeah, Matty Fung's in the building.
I said, hey, you gonna make a wrong turn at the border or something? And he said, so this is my home. That's all I had to say.
That's pretty cool. Kid from California making Sylvan Lake his home.
I love it.
Cleary Simpson having a great at-bat right now here, Jim. Now,
That's what he
full
does,
count,
though, right?
and he is, making, of course, Adam Corte throw a lot of pitches, and that's 2 batters he's faced having to bring both counts to full.
That's right. That's what Cleary Simpson does. He just battles when he gets in that box. And Jaden Flores is a definite threat to steal, although with a full count, I'm not sure he'll take a run down to second.
Well, he's already tried twice, and they've been fouled off both times.
And there's Simpson right, and that could, a good play there by the center fielder, Nash Nichols. It's almost like he lost it for a second and then picked it up and had to take a few steps in, but he made the grab and kept Jaden Flores over at first base.
Yeah, great grab by Nash Nichols, who came in as a pinch hitter late in the game last night, and he went 1 for 2, driving in the winning runs in extra innings.
Okay, extra innings. Yeah. What you might expect from 2 teams that are, usually in the top 4 or 5 in the league all the time, which I think they are right now. And there goes Flores down to second, and the throw down to second, and they got him. A good throw there by catcher Aiden Marion to catch Jaden Flores.
I mean, I like the intensity and, a little bit of that aggressive nature for the Sylvan Lake Gulls to start this ball game. They want to get off to a good start. They want to, manufacture some runs, get the base runners advanced over to another base, get them a little bit closer to scoring, especially with a guy like Elijah Hamill and Coleman Perry coming up in the order. But you got to do it in a timely manner as well, and unfortunately that just didn't time up perfectly for Flores, and a great arm obviously on display there by Aiden Marion.
Which I think is part of the thing for stealing, is you find out what the catcher can do.
Exactly. Yep.
Although it was, catchers always say, well, you don't steal off of me, you steal off the pitcher. Pitchers say, well, no, you're stealing off the catcher. So depends on who you talk to.
That's true.
3-0 count here on Elijah Hamill. That young man entertained us so many times in so many different ways, with his glove, with his legs, and with his bat, and his arm.
And he hasn't skipped a beat since being in Sylvan Lake this year. From those years past, the 2 years ago, he has come in and he has delivered. I mean, he's hitting .312 coming into today's game, 21 RBIs, second most homers as a Gull this season at 7 with 34 hits, and he's come around to score 23 times himself as well. So Rob Allen, not a fan favorite early on here this afternoon. As we learned even last night, the fans not happy with the home plate umpire. There's a lot of umpires in the stands, as you like to always say. There's
always a ton of umpires ready to help you at any point. So full count now on Elijah Hamill. Oakville, Ontario is home for this young man. And boy, we're sure glad to be able to watch him play baseball. He approaches it with the right attitude. Have fun and do your best. And that's what he does. Full count, 2 out, bottom of the first inning. We are scoreless. And Hamill squibs this down towards the Gulls dugout. Nice catch there by one of the players leaning over the fence.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That looked like that might have been one of the pitchers. In fact, that might have been Mason Little that just made that catch.
Okay. I think he went with his left hand. He didn't do his pitching hand. So.
Oh, no, that's number 19, sir. That was McKenzie. Matthew McKenzie that made
there
the
you
catch.
go.
I saw a 9.
And
on
that's
the jersey.
fouled off. Did you see that catch the guy made at a Major League Baseball game, holding his son in his left arm?
Oh, yeah.
And the guy hits foul ball, and he reached across with his right hand across the baby and grabbed it, backhanded it, just nailed it.
That's wild.
He had a smile on his face, and the 1-year-old that he was holding didn't have any clue what was going on, but there's going to be video. And that's just lofted into shallow right field for the first base hit of the game. And Elijah Hamill gets on base for the second base runner for the Gulls as that drops in safely.
Yeah, weak contact, but finds the hole and gets things going in the right direction for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. As you mentioned, first hit of this ball game. goes to the Sylvan Lake Gulls. So Coleman Perry with maybe a 2-out rally in the works, looking to keep this inning alive. And here's a guy that can do just that with the bat.
He looks like he's got some power for sure.
304 hitting this year. He's got 23 RBIs, 4 homers, 41 hits, and 26 runs scored in 135 at-bats.
He's a good book reader, too.
Yes, you got the chance to meet him at a
Sylvan Lake Library.
Sylvan Lake Library earlier on this month.
Reading to the kids. He had fun. He said he got there early so he could pick the easiest book.
Oh, okay. Well, Don Buskus made the call at the appeal that he did on the check swing that he went around. And it was funny, watching Don, he looked like he was going to do safe, and then he went last minute out. So let's take a look here. This is an angle we got on the replay monitor.
Oh,
And he does go all the way around. So good call by Don Buskus.
Like that camera angle.
Right?
Way to go, Calvin.
Yeah, the crew at Green Onion Media don't mess around when it comes to this stuff.
Well, that misses outside. 2-1 the count on Coleman Perry. He told me he's from Utah, but he's a Red Sox fan. I said, okay.
Tough year to be a Sox fan.
Well, they were on a bit of a roll.
Yeah.
Lately, they won 10 straight. Or no, they 15. They had a team record, 15 straight.
They did win a lot there. They had a tough start. I remember that, but
they did. But you know what? That's why you play the game, right?
Yeah. And I believe the Toronto Blue Jays just played them, and
they whacked them yesterday.
I believe they beat them pretty good. Yeah.
Dylan Cease had an outstanding night.
Yes.
I think 9 or 10 strikeouts. Pitched into the 9th inning. Oh no. That might have been a little on the outside of the plate. Coleman Perry is trying to plead his case, but that's not going to go very far with Rob Allen. So, well, a base hit at least, and a scoreless first inning. The Berries will come to bat.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Have you ever wondered if there's one thing that connects people from across our province? Something that connects the coffee shop to the spray park, or the brewery to the rodeo, the campground to the sports field. It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected, because it truly is. And it's all we think about, so you don't have to.
Welcome back. Top of the second inning. Gulls and Berries are scoreless after one complete. And this is Gail Salinas, the right fielder, leading things off for the Berries here in the top half of the second. Mason Little on the mound for Sylvan Lake. And he's quickly behind 2-0 with Salinas.
And this is a dangerous batter. We saw what he had in store for the Gulls last night. He was very dangerous. One of their top batters at the plate. Went 2 for 3. He didn't get any RBIs, but he hit the ball far and hard when he did make contact with it. And, of course, he is one of their leading guys when it comes to the batting average. He's the top of the batting average category at .397, 47 RBIs, 2 homers, 69 hits, and about 14, ties the team with most extra base hits as well at 14.
Wow.
So he hits it hard.
He's got some skill at the plate, that's for sure. And he draws a walk there, which might be the safest thing to do with this man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and his OBP, Jim, it's almost 500. It's 498. So he's getting on base half the time he comes to the plate.
He's friends with every team's first baseman.
Exactly. And you know what's funny too? 3 times last night, he led things off in an inning.
Okay.
That's just how it worked out. And it was a good leadoff guy for the Berries in those innings. And here's another guy that also had a pretty big impact defensively and even a little bit offensively. Was the first baseman, and Josh Henson at the plate now.
They have some big ball players.
They do. They really stacked up this year. And you know what? I was telling Scott last night on the broadcast that, these two teams, when you look at them, it's almost like you're looking in a mirror, and it's a reflection. But it's your long-lost twin brother on the east side, because that's kind of how these two teams always match up against each other. Very similar in a lot of ways.
You are correct. And you know what? And that thread runs deeper with the coaching on either side and the management behind everything on either side.
And Saskatoon obviously starting their own program out east as well, and they got their own little baseball program that they got going on, and this is hit to Collins, who makes the quick kick. Well, actually, sorry, Michael Quick, who makes the catch as Collins gets the night off, afternoon off, I should say.
So a fly out to right field off the bat of Josh Henson gets the first out for the Gulls here in the top half of the second. Nice play. And that's the second outfielder that I've seen kind of maybe not lose the ball, but didn't track it quite as well, and then had to make an adjustment. But if you can do that, you're not hurting yourself or your team. So and that's fouled out of play, as this is the shortstop, Nathan Houston.
Yeah, and this is a guy also that was just so consistent and dangerous with the bats. Probably the dangerous batter that we saw last night. Went 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, and he scored twice himself in 5 plate appearances.
That's not a bad day's work.
Yeah, he was pretty deadly.
This could be 2 as Flores flips it over to second. And a good turn there by Maddox Schaefer. And that is Mason Little's best friend right there. Gets him out of the inning with no harm, no foul. A walk and then a double play to get them out of the inning. So we are scoreless after 1.5. The Gulls coming to bat.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Well, it's a gorgeous afternoon, isn't it, Jim? I mean, absolutely beautiful to be here in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, Canada on a Sunday afternoon. Sunday fun day, what I like to call it, especially with the family. On the berm, taking it all in. You got the little guy there with a baseball glove in his hand and a shirt. Unless that's maybe just a shirt, but it looked like a baseball glove on his shirt. But anyways, regardless, everybody having a good time here on a Sunday afternoon, watching WCBL action, watching the top teams in the league go head-to-head here. among the top teams in the league, I should say, is Gulls second in the West Division. Saskatoon, with their win last night, have now tied Moose Jaw for first place in the East.
Yeah, Moose Jaw sure picked up the pace. And the East, when you look at the standings, you know, you always think, okay, Saskatoon, Regina, because of the big centers, right? Well, Regina has kind of fallen off the page a bit. And then Moose Jaw has moved up to take their place. Saskatoon's right there. And Medicine Hat is right in that mix, are they not?
They're kind of, you know what? You look at the East, Jim, and it is absolutely crazy. There are 4 teams battling for those last 2 playoff spots.
There you go.
I mean, the top 2, Moose Jaw and Saskatoon, have clinched, but it's those bottom 4 that it's right up in the air. It's anybody's game, including the 57s.
That's right.
So
and the Gulls have clinched their spot.
And the Gulls have clinched
as well,
yep.
right?
Yeah, you betcha.
Now it's just a matter of, I guess, jockeying for position.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It is.
Can they catch Okotoks?
They can, but it's starting to slip away. They need to start putting some wins together. The Gulls lately have gone 5-5 in their last 10. Have not necessarily been playing their best baseball as of late. And if I guess there's a time to maybe work out the kinks, it's now rather than in a week or two's time, right before playoffs start. They are running out of time though. Okotoks up 3 games right now on the Sylvan Lake Gulls as Michael Quick will take a walk here. And so for Sylvan Lake, they gotta start manufacturing some wins. They gotta find a way because the schedule doesn't get any easier either. And we'll look at the schedule down the road here as we look.
I was talking to Elijah Hamill before the game and just catching up with him. And he said, next week it starts, I think they got like 6 or 7 in a row, and including a doubleheader, both 9-inning games. Like that's going to wear you down, but that's where your bench becomes your ace in the hole kind of thing. You have a bench that you can play guys and rest guys and then play more guys, kind of thing. So,
well, let's take a look at the East standings. If the guys in the truck don't mind, if they can pull them up quickly, as we look at what the East looks like right now. And look at this. Regina has slipped into 3rd place, and they're starting to kind of have a little bit of a separation gap between Weyburn and Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat has definitely fallen off the track a little bit. This is a team that coming into this year, they were expecting to be one of the higher teams in this league, but they've just had a tough go this year with finding ways to manufacture some wins. And here's a new batter as Hunter Durr hits it right back to the pitcher, and the play will be a double play in the debut of Hunter Durr, the DH, here at Gulls Field. A tough debut for him to, first pitch swinging. I love the attitude, though. Why not swing on it if you like what you see coming down the line on you?
Yeah, looked good to him, and right back to the pitcher as Adam Corte just gobbled that up and started the double play here. And that puts Hunter Durr out, and that's 2 out right just like that. So Maddox Schaefer, the second baseman, steps in now. And he's first pitch swinging too, and he takes this one deep to center field, and a good catch there by Nash Nichols. He tracked it right away, didn't give up on it, and had just enough room to make the catch. So a scoreless inning for the Gulls. We've gone 2 complete. Saskatoon and Sylvan scoreless. Saskatoon coming up.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
Still scoreless between the Berries and the Gulls as we welcome you back into the Gulls Nest. Jim Claggett, I'm Cale Clark, and joining us, we kind of got a little bit of nostalgia going on this afternoon. It's like a throwback all of a sudden. It's Throwback Sunday here at Gulls Field because Matty Fung former player of the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and we are so excited, Maddie, to have you join us in the broadcast booth. Welcome back to Sylvan Lake.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. So, Maddie, tell us, what have you been getting up to as of late? Now that you're no longer a Gulls player, you're now a spectator coming back to Gulls Field watching on.
Yeah, so I got back home after last summer and started becoming a golfer. Picked up golfing when I was here in Sylvan, and my dad and I have just been playing golf together like once a week. Also been coaching high school baseball. I enjoy doing that. It's fun to be around the kids and still be part of baseball now that I'm not playing anymore.
And of course, your dad retired now too, and so he gets to golf a lot, and you get to golf with him. How's the golf game coming along?
It's getting better. It's getting better. Right now, I'm around a 20 handicap, so shooting the mid 90s, low 90s. If I break 90, it's a great day.
That's an awesome.
Yeah.
Only 10% of the people that golf in this world break 90 or break 100 on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So you're breaking 90 almost. That's pretty good. So now I talked to you. I said before the game, I said, would you take a wrong turn at the border? And you said, no, this is your home, isn't it?
Yep, it's my second home now. Spent 4 summers. Let you guys make this call.
Yeah, fly out to right field there. Michael Quick gets underneath that easily for the first out of the third inning as Mason Little is cruising along. What do you like what you're seeing out here right now from your Gulls?
I like this team. It seems like they like to swing the bats early. Pitching's great as always. It's good to see a bunch of guys I played with the past 4 years. Mason on the mound, played with him last year. Jaden played with him last year. Team MVP. I actually get to live with him for a couple weeks because he's staying with my billets, the Sinclairs.
Okay.
And Michael Quick in right field. Great guy. I love him. Yeah. But going back to your question about Sylvan Lake being my home, this is my second home. 4 summers here. My billets took care of me. Love them. The organization, Graham and Jen, they just made everything special. And I love this place. And Chatty, got to play for him for 4 years. One of the best coaches I ever played for. Enjoy all of them.
You said you were getting into coaching high school.
Yep.
What did you learn from Coach Chatwood that you're using in your coaching with this high school team, or is there anything?
I think something I learned from Chatty is that he connects with his players, builds true relationships with each and every guy. Maddox making the catch over there.
Yeah, that was a good catch.
Just building relationships with his players is something I learned from him. So when I'm hanging out, coaching the high school kids, I try to just ask them how their day was, how was school, and just build real connections with them. Yeah.
Now I got to ask you, Maddie. I mean, this is got to be very weird for you to be here at Gulls Field, not in uniform, and instead you're watching as a fan and a spectator. So what is it like for you to be here at the field and getting a different perspective for once?
Yeah, it's a little different. First game I sat with my billets down the first base line, or not down the line, in the club seats, and view's amazing. I think anywhere you sit in this stadium, it's a good view to watch baseball. But I mean, I'm kind of overplaying, so like it's no big deal for me just to watch a ball game. I enjoy watching baseball. Like I grew up, baseball's been part of my life, so it's not weird.
And I guess you kind of get to try things that you've never tried before, like, some of the food, maybe some of the drinks. Is there anything that stands out to you as far as what you've got to experience here right at the stadium?
Yeah, I tried the burger yesterday. Great, bacon cheeseburger.
Nice.
And my go-to drink here is the Tipsy Bird.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's a popular one. Well, the Berries strike out. We'll be back with Maddie for the bottom half of the third inning. When we come back, you're watching Gulls baseball. Well, this is a gorgeous scene here at Gulls Field. Again, we are with Matty Fung up in the broadcast booth, former player for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. He was a really solid infielder, second baseman, or, you did it all, really. I mean, you're a utility guy. You could go anywhere and anywhere. You were a really good leadoff hitter as well when you were here for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. We talked about you getting to eat food now that you're a fan, no longer a player, and you're going to be eating some more food in a matter of just a couple outs here.
Yeah, I'm doing the hot dog eating contest today. I don't know who requested me, but I can't turn down being in front of this great group of fans.
Okay, the strategy for eating a hot dog fast, because you and I are the same. We don't eat very fast.
No. So I guess I'm gonna have to drink a lot of water before, and then just try to swallow it or take as many bites as I need.
Well, this is Eli Duncan at the plate, who's going to lead things off here in the bottom half of the third inning. He's going to take that first pitch in for a called strike. Well, we know that baseball is kind of in your past now. Obviously, still love the game. You still got a lot of great love for this baseball game. But you're moving on to some cool things, I hear. And what are you going to be getting up to after baseball?
Yeah, I'm going to start EMT school this fall and hopefully pass the exam first try. And then join the fire academy and try to become a firefighter in a couple years.
That is so cool, Matty. I'm very excited for you, and I'm sure Dad's probably pretty proud. I mean, maybe was he ever trying to persuade you? And this is hit pretty good into left field as Duncan hits it right to the glove of Ethan Murdoch, who closes time pretty quickly. But was your dad? Your dad had a really cool career as well in that kind of similar field. He was a police officer, and did he have any encouragement for you into getting into this kind of field or anything like that?
I really didn't talk to him about becoming a firefighter. I just brought it up one day, and he totally supports me in anything I want to do. So I think he's proud and happy that I'm hoping to be a firefighter someday.
What sparked the interest for you to be getting into this field?
Yeah, I don't see myself being in an office, so I want to be part of a team, be out there, serve a city, help other people. So that's where I came up with this idea of becoming a firefighter.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, I think all of the things that you did here as a baseball player in Sylvan Lake, interacting with not only the fans, the adults, but the kids as well on TV, you're kind of prepared for that part anyways, the public service aspect of things and being part of a team.
Yep.
That's really good. That's really good. This is Dominic Giusti. He is the center fielder. And I was saying to Cale before the game, I thought it was Elijah Hamill out in center because he covers all of that field. And then I saw him make the catch out there. I went, okay, I see why he's in center field now.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching him the past couple of days. He runs down everything in center field. He also has the yellow cleats like Elijah Tanner from a couple of years ago. And they actually played together up in Seattle together at Whitworth College.
Oh, okay.
So they know each other. So I wonder if Elijah Tanner told him to bring the yellow cleats up.
Yeah, someone's got to keep it going, right? Here in Sylvan Lake. Absolutely. I love it.
So we got two down here in the bottom half of the third inning. Gulls and Berries are scoreless. One hit so far in this game after how many last night? I didn't do the game, obviously.
There was a lot of hits.
Yeah.
In fact, there were 11 hits for the Berries to the Sylvan Lake Gulls 6.
Okay, so top of the order here, leading things off, or at least trying to keep things going here in the bottom half of the third inning is Jaden Flores. And I think the best night I've seen Jaden have is when he had those sparkly cleats that his sister made for him. And boy, did he hit the ball well, and his glove has always been good, and he's got that strong arm. And is that what you see in this young man when you see him play?
Jaden's a ball player. Those cleats were special. I think he wore them in the All-Star game and then brought them back. He's a quiet person. You gotta kind of open up or get him to open up to you, but he knows how to play the game.
He sure does. And one of the things Kayla and I were talking about earlier in the broadcast was just how this league has increased its level of talent. And not only by the guys that we've seen get drafted and guys moving on to pro contracts like, well, Gavin Roy just finished doing that. Jonah Weisner, of course, and then Nathan Flewelling doing what Nathan's doing down with the Tampa organization. Would you agree that this talent level has just started to rise and rise each year that you've been here?
Definitely, yeah. When I came here in 2022, there weren't too many Division I players in this league, and I've started to notice like a lot of Division I schools are sending their guys up to play in the WCBL, which I think is great because I think more colleges need to know about this league. Yeah.
Well, it's definitely making waves. I mean, Jamie Campbell on Sportsnet, Toronto Blue Jays Sportsnet Central has, pointed out this league multiple times already this year. He's been in this facility as well. He's been on this broadcast. He knows what kind of talent is going on in this league. And of course, the major leagues are seeing the talent being brought in. Carter Beck making headline news for the province of Saskatchewan, one of the highest ranked drafted Saskatchewan players ever in the history to go in the MLB. Pretty cool stuff there. So yeah, you get to see that kind of stuff, and it makes our jobs fun when we're up here in the broadcast booth, maybe watching future major leaguers and getting to watch guys like you who carry on their career into something different, and you carry that passion and that teamwork and that team, that mentality, and you're taking that into you with your firefighting dream as well. So we love to see things like that as well, for guys like you.
Full count here on Jaden Flores, who's doing his Matty Fung impersonation
yeah,
by
he sure is.
having a bat. Like that's what you used to do. 6, 7, 8, 9 fouls in an at bat, and then he works a walk out of that
That looked
whole
like
thing.
Matty Fung right there, didn't it?
That's exactly what I saw.
We were having dinner last night, and Jaden was like, I was surprised I got player of the game yesterday. And I was like, why are you surprised? You got on base 3 times, scored 2 runs. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. And unfortunately, they didn't get the win, but, I mean, he deserved that player of the game for sure.
I think so.
Plus his defense last night was amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Double plays, that Superman catch in a critical moment of the game. That's why we gave it to Jaden Flores, because we looked up and down the roster and we're like, there was a lot of guys that obviously had an impact in the game and that, put some good at-bats together, but that one really stood out to us.
And Cleary Simpson, first pitch swinging on that one, and probably wants that one back, but he fouls it off into foul territory, and it is caught by Nick Cote to bring the inning to a close with no runs and just a walk. So we are still scoreless after 3 full. Are we sticking
We got to
around?
let Matty go to get the hot dog eating contest.
Yeah.
Matty, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And wishing you
See you,
all the
buddy.
best, and we'll see you again here soon.
Appreciate it, guys.
You betcha.
Yo, that's the one. You going?
Yes.
Can I join you guys? All right, let's go.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archived game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
Well, Mason Little is really performing here, as are both pitchers on both sides. Mason Little, Adam Corte, it is a pitcher's duel right now. Not a lot has been given up offensively for either team, just the one base hit as we head into the top of the 4th inning, and the Berries back at the plate. A much better start for the Sylvan Lake Gulls in this one, but they're going to want to add some runs to it as well.
This is the top of the order. Brock Laird will step in. He flew out to center field in his first at bat in the 1st inning, but we are just zooming along here.
We are.
And Mason Little, like you said, is zooming along. 35 pitches so far. I know, and I'm getting an earful from Calvin in the truck for saying we're just zooming along.
It's
you know
always
what's
that
going to
have
happen.
You know what's funny? I've said things, and the game still goes on just fine. I think it's you that have. Somehow you have the bad juju. I don't know what it is.
It's
but
not me, it's you.
it's not me, it's you. It's like a healthy relationship.
Looks like Maddie's coming back in to do the play-by-play.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go stuff a hot dog in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's fouled back there by Laird to count 1 and 2 now. The Gulls and Berries having a bit of a duel here this afternoon on a beautiful Sunday in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, Canada. Welcome to the broadcast, Jim Claggett and Cale Clark. That just sounds really weird in my head.
It sounds weird but familiar at the same time. This
Yeah.
hit into Michael Quick's territory out in right field, and will make a nice catch.
Yeah.
Route number 1. And we take a look at this game right now, completely different from how last night went. By this point last night, the Berries have batted around the order 3 different times. This is the first time we're seeing another, full rotation in the whole order. So
That's right.
This is definitely a totally different night than what we saw yesterday.
And this is why you play the game, right? You
Yeah.
just don't know what you're going to get until you start it. And Mason Little just seems to be in full control with all of his pitches right now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What did we have? 1 walk? Yeah, he's walked just 1 guy and
Couple strikeouts.
And there's been 3 walks on the other side of the ledger. But I think that is part of the not so much on the pitcher for the Berries, Adam Corte, but this is the type of at-bats that Jaden Flores have. The guys are fouling pitches off. They're staying alive. They're being defensive up there, and then they're drawing the walk.
Well, Corte's night hasn't been nearly as efficient as Mason Little's tonight. He has been, most batters that he has faced have been coming out to full counts.
Yeah.
So, and they're making him work for it.
And that's what you should do with the starter. Make them work.
Yeah.
But they haven't made a dent in him yet. So just the 1 hit by the Gulls, and that came back in the first inning. Elijah Hamill with that little blooper into shallow right field. But a hit's a hit, right?
Absolutely. Well, it goes to show Saskatoon, too, the performance that they have had over the past stretch. They went up against a Moose Jaw Miller Express team who came in yesterday's game on a 13-game winning streak. Saskatoon just quietly went about their business with a 6-game winning streak themselves, and now with that win last night, making it 7 straight, Moose Jaw lost the first of the second doubleheader. They won the second doubleheader, and now they're still tied.
Yeah.
That's how good Saskatoon has been playing as of late in the East Division. Still just, keeping it right up there with Moose Jaw, who had an absolute insane stretch of games.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you know what? It's nice to see teams that weren't always in the mix kind of thing each year, and all of a sudden become part of the playoff scenarios. This is grounded down to third base, and Cleary Simpson showing he can get to the ball and he can still throw that ball. He's a very trusted third baseman over there.
Yeah, getting his former teammate out at first there on Ethan Murdoch with just an absolute dart. And he had to get it there with a lot of speed and on a hurry because Murdoch has some wheels to him, and he was almost quickly to beat out the throw, but good throw by Simpson.
Now, as a good journalist, I should have done my research, but I understand there's a guy over on the east side. I'm not sure if he's Moose Jaw. Anyway, he's got 19 home runs this year, and the record is 20.
Yep.
And he's got a few more games to play, but this kid apparently is just lights out when he gets to the plate.
We talked about him actually yesterday. My broadcast partner in Scott Stimson last night was talking about how he was also chasing in on an RBI record as well, and that is for Swift Current, Jake Hiramoto.
Right.
The home run leader at now 20. He's tied, I believe, the home run record.
There
and
you go.
now with the RBI, he was, last we heard, was just 3 away from tying that record. He's got 64 RBIs on the season. I believe the record is at 67.
Oh, jeez. You know, and people have to, you put it in perspective, these guys play, 54, 55 games? And he's got 20 home runs, and we haven't got to the end of the season yet?
Yeah.
That's some power. I'm thinking when that guy comes up to bat, you just say, go to first base.
Well, and it kind of backs up what we were talking about with the WCBL getting better and better every year.
Yep.
Well, records are continuing to get broken. And that goes to show the talent that is coming into this league. these records wouldn't be getting broken if you don't have better talent coming in every single year.
Right, and then just what Matty touched upon, he said a lot of more Division I players are coming up here, realizing the value that they're not missing a step. They're not taking a step backwards by coming to this summer league, the WCBL. 3-1 the count.
In fact, I apologize. Stand corrected. 66 was the RBI record, so he's only 2 away right now from that.
All right, so that's Mason Rell, and he draws the walk off of Mason Little.
And he's tied for home runs at 20.
Yeah, look at that, huh?
And Riley McDonald was with the Brooks Bombers back in 2018. He's currently the leading home run leader in a regular season at that 20, now tied with Hiramoto.
There you go.
So
thank you for the update.
Crazy.
I knew
Absolutely
somebody
crazy.
would know about it. I just didn't do enough research on it.
I mean, good for you to even point that out for coming in on a on a Sunday afternoon, and you did clearly do a little bit of research to kind of hear through the grapevine some way or another and find out that information.
I have sources.
You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
Well, that's debatable. 0-2 the count here on the right fielder, Gail Salinas, with a runner on first and 2 down here in the top half of the 4th inning. Gulls and Berries having a battle, and it is scoreless to this point. And Mason Little says, I'm going to keep it scoreless, as he strikes out Gail Salinas and brings the inning to a close. The Berries leave 1 man on base, but we are still tied at zeros with the Gulls coming to bat.
Love the shenanigans that we get into here at Gulls Field in between breaks to keep the fans here at Gulls Field entertained. While former Gull, who was just in the broadcast booth with us, Matty Fung, in a hot dog eating contest with Kai Rempel, a former teammate of his. And this was probably, I don't mean to give these guys a hard rep, but this has got to be the slowest, fastest hot dog eating contest I have seen here at Gulls Field this year.
That was painfully slow.
It was almost like they were enjoying a nice little date there with each other on a little feast with a hot dog.
Just a little conversation going on, and hey.
That was funny.
Terrible.
It was great. That was great, though. Even Joe Whitworth's like, come on, guys, this is a hot dog eating contest. This isn't a lunch date, but yeah. And then there's Kai, and he says, I got you. Throws a little bit of water at Matty, and yeah, he's happy. He got the win.
Elijah Hamill just started things off by flying out to right field here. That'll bring up Coleman Perry. But yeah, you're right. I think I've seen babies eat their pablum faster than that. But you know what? Good for them.
Yeah, good for them to step in and get involved. That's
I like
awesome.
that. I like that. That's a new addition. We didn't have that when I was working here.
It has been a throwback Sunday at the ballpark here with a lot of returning and familiar faces, including yourself, Jim. Great to have everybody back at the ballpark. It takes us back, doesn't it?
Well, you are 100% correct in that, and that is drilled into left center by Coleman Perry for the second hit of the afternoon. Both have been by the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And Coleman Perry sends this easily over the outstretched glove of shortstop Nathan Houston. And the Gulls have a leadoff batter here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Their second batter. And that will bring up Michael Quick, the right fielder, who has had a busy afternoon with his glove. And he drew a walk back in the second inning.
Yeah, he's done a good job over in right field. Balls have found his glove.
And the ball just found him.
Yeah, exactly. Right on the thigh. And this is the first and the most we've had runners on all afternoon. In fact, the catcher is Aiden Marion is looking like he wore some of this.
Oh,
he did. Right off the right knee here.
Ouch.
Off of that angle of the camera. It looked like it hit Michael Quick and then went right off the inside of the leg here on. Yeah, Aiden Marion.
That might leave a mark.
Let's watch this again. Boom, hip, and then leg.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Well, he's a catcher. He's right back in behind the plate.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, well, that's a classic phrase, 2 birds with 1 stone right there.
That's right. Hunter Durr steps in, the designated hitter for the Gulls. I think this is the first time, and I'm just going to check. Yeah, first base runner over at second.
Yep, and yeah, that's what I was kind of meaning when I said we got the most base runners on in this game. First time a guy's in scoring position.
So the Gulls, this is where you need to bear down, cash in, because you know what the Berries can do with their bats. And help Mason Little. He seems to be in control at least for the first 4 innings. He's done quite well.
Again, first game and first time that we see Hunter Durr here at Gulls Field. Second bat. Takes the first pitch this time for a called strike. Doesn't decide to swing on it. But on the second one, he will hit on the ground.
Well, you know what? There was some heads up running there by Coleman Perry.
Yes.
When we see the replay, watch how he deliberately pauses in front of the shortstop right here. Oops. Oh, yeah. Didn't hit me.
Yeah, anything and everything to kind of throw that, throw off.
Yeah.
He's trying to get in the head a little bit of the shortstop and Nathan Houston.
Now we got base runners in scoring position for the Gulls. And I think shortstop and Coleman Perry are having a little discussion, Nathan Houston and Coleman Perry, about that play. A gentle discussion. It wasn't a yelling match.
No.
Perry just laughed. He just shook his head. He's still looking at him going, hey, all's fair, right?
That's baseball.
Maddox Schaefer up with 2 down and runners on second and third. Bottom of the 4th inning. Gulls and Berries are knotted up at 0. And that's going to change right now, as that's going to score both base runners. And the Sylvan Lake Gulls have just taken the lead over the Saskatoon Berries just like that.
That is a huge inning, huge at bat for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. They finally put some things together in motion offensively. And then, of course, Maddox Shaver, a 2 RBI single. Exactly what you needed from this Gulls offense to get something in motion. The defense has been perfect. Now it's time for the offense to get something going.
Yep, better late than never. 2 out, and you get a clutch base hit there from Maddox Schaefer to clear the bases. And Eli Duncan will step in. He flew out to left field in his only at bat so far. That was in the 3rd inning.
And you can kind of take a little bit of a breath, a sigh of relief a little bit for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, because it's been a game where there hasn't been given much and there hasn't been a lot going on. So when you finally get 2 runners on, you finally get 2 runners in scoring position, so critical to cash those runs in. And they did just that with Maddox Shaver. And now they can kind of relax a little bit and just carry on with this 2-out rally.
And, and I can only relate to the teams that I saw play personally, but you might be able to weigh on this better than I can, is that the scrappiness of the teams that we've seen in the past, how they seem to find a way to score a run. It could be an ugly win, but a win's a win kind of thing. Yeah. Is this somewhat similar, the DNA with this team too, being scrappy and being able to generate some offense?
It's definitely dependent on the team who they play. I mean, we've seen some scrappy games, obviously, earlier on in the season. You know, but the Sylvan Lake Gulls definitely, you know, they're one of those teams, obviously, they will take it any way they can get, you know, and runs on and runs in. It hasn't been necessarily standing out as a scrappy team, but obviously, depending on the opponent you're playing, and obviously, I think at this point in the season, as we get closer to the playoff picture, you're going to see more scrappiness come out.
Okay.
More desperation come out. You're going to see, you know, and especially against good teams like Saskatoon, Okotoks Dogs, Lethbridge Bulls. I think as we get closer and closer to the playoff picture and what you're trying to do with home field advantage and catching the standings and, you know, clinching a high seed team or a high seed spot, I should say. Yeah, you might start to see a little bit more of that urgency and that scrappiness coming out.
Well, Dominic Giusti steps in with the runners on first and second. 2 down, an 0-1 count on the Gulls center fielder. And no action in the bullpen for the Berries right now, so Adam Corte this is his inning, I guess. The coach is saying, you get out of this inning and we'll see about going in out on the 5th. But
I had a great chat with Dom Giusti last night after last night's loss to the Berries in the extra innings. I asked him, how was that game? He said it was stressful. And he's a guy that, you know, this guy cares a lot about this game. He is a guy that wears his heart on the sleeve, and he wants to obviously perform well, and he's done that here today. He's done that last night. He's now come into this game, back-to-back games with an RBI. He had a little bit of a stretch there where he couldn't really get anything going offensively. He was kind of, you know, gripping the bat a little hard and whatnot. But he said, you know, Wyatt McKnight showed faith in me. He said he had his patience and he wanted me to succeed here in Sylvan Lake, and he's given him a chance. And Dom Giusti is definitely performing.
He grounds this down to shortstop, and a good just off the glove of the first baseman, Josh Henson, and that could score, well, one for sure. One for sure as Maddox Schaefer comes in to score. So on the throwing error, or is it a first baseman error? Probably they're going to give the shortstop an error on that one.
Yeah, it's going to go to the shortstop, I think, on this one. But again, it goes to show with the speed of Dom Giusti, you know, he didn't give up on this play. This kid has heart every single at-bat, and if it hits on the ground, he's still going to give it his best effort all the way to first. And because of that effort, that forced that error over at shortstop. Nathan Houston knew he had to make the throw quick because he's got fast cleats on him. He's got the speedy neon cleats tonight, and you know what? That goes to show Dom Giusti's, you know, efforts in every single game.
The Elijah Tanner cleats.
He's got the Elijah Tanner,
Get some yellow in there.
Swagger to him.
Yeah, get some yellow.
Absolutely.
Just like Sully's beak.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You got runners on second and third now, and a little visit to the mound by the Berries head coach to kind of settle his pitcher down. I mean, he induced the ground ball and should have been a play. I think the shortstop Houston is going to own that error, I think. So Gulls with runners on second and third. They've scored 3 times in this inning.
And very similarly to what we saw last night, runs being scored on a 2-out count.
Yeah. Yep, there you go.
A 2-out rally. It just keeps going for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And finally playing with a lead against the Saskatoon Berries team.
Yeah, it's much better being in the lead than trying to claw your way back.
But my goodness, you know, I know the guys, they were hanging their heads pretty low last night after that loss. They really wanted that win, but, you know, I told them, you guys, the way you fought back in that game, it's something to be proud of. They showed a lot of fight.
Yeah.
For a white bird. They showed a lot of fight against the Saskatoon Berries.
Speaking of bird fights, I just about had a couple. I'll relay that story later.
I like it.
Yeah. 0-2 the count here
Always
on
the
Jaden
stories.
Flores. Yeah, well, we'll see.
That's what we missed up in the broadcast booth, Jim.
Yeah, as I go for a mind wander. Jim, you're supposed to be calling the game. Center field. And that is a fly out for Jaden Flores for the third out. That brings the inning to a close, but not before the Gulls have scored 3 times. And there's one of them, and there's the second right there. A 3-0 lead for Sylvan Lake. Berries coming to bat. Well, there you go. I said I had a bird story, and I was going to give it to you in a second, but I got to catch up now. Josh Henson is the batter here, leading things off in the top half of the 5th inning for the Saskatoon Berries. Jim Claggett, Cale Clark here on the broadcast.
Yeah, great to have you tuning in to FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. And in case you're wondering, why is there a new guy on there? This doesn't sound familiar to what we've been listening to all year. Well, it's because this is what it used to sound like for the past 5 years. Jim Claggett, play-by-play. I would fill in his color, and we decided today, let's go back to our old roots and let Jim take over. And Jim, I gotta say, it's like riding a bike for you with no crash courses. You've been doing just fine this afternoon.
Well, like I said, it's a whole lot of fun. And there's the first base hit for the Saskatoon Berries. As a leadoff single to left field by Josh Hansen. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Nathan Houston. Now, you mentioned earlier about, that's some pretty good fight in a bird. My wife and I go for walks in the morning, anytime between 6:30, 7 o'clock, that kind of thing. Twice now we've been walking, and twice now we've been confronted by a very large goose who was protecting his harem. And we took 2 steps toward him, and he took his wings, and he made sure they got nice and big. And then he took a step towards us, and I looked at my wife, and she looked at me and said, "We're going the other way." We're just going to, you just carry on.
Yeah.
And it happened again today.
That's fair.
And this guy was a big guy too. And this is well hit to deep center field. And Dominic Giusti showing the wheels that, you told me about him, and I'm seeing it now for real. He tracked that one down like it was nothing. Yeah,
this kid's got, something in his step here today. I mean, this kid is really feeling it this afternoon, especially. He's been busy defensively. Offensively, he's getting things done in the right way as well. Running hard to the bases. And, gotta love what I'm seeing from Dom Giusti here this afternoon.
And that'll bring up the third baseman, Nick Cote. Cote with a fly out to right field in his only at-bat to this point.
And it's kind of weird. This is almost deja vu, but opposite, the tables have turned completely. Saskatoon, it took them until the 5th inning to get their first hit of this ball game. That kind of took the no-hitter away from, of course, Mason Little. last night, it took the Gulls till the 4th inning to finally get their first base hit of the ball game. So, they kind of swap places. Obviously, Saskatoon doesn't have a 5-0 deficit. They're just down by 3, but it's almost like a similar but different kind of game here we're watching this afternoon.
And this reminds me of something that Wyatt McKnight told me when he first heard about this league. He had never been up to Canada. He didn't know much about the league, but he said, I started getting, reading box scores and hearing from friends that he knew that were up here, and he said, there's not a lot of, 12 walks in a game kind of thing, and there's offense, and there's really good defense, and that's an error that is going to be a throwing error to the Gulls catcher, Eli Duncan, as he fired that out into right field, and that allows Josh Henson to get over to second on the error.
Well, we were watching right before we came into this inning, right at the end when the catcher throws to second after the pitcher's done warming up. He threw it over the head of the second baseman. I believe that might have been actually Jaden Flores, who was that shortstop. He was throwing a Flores, and it went right over Flores' head and out into center field. And I said to you, well, let's hope that doesn't happen in real time. Well, then it did just happen at first. But another hit ball right to Dom Giusti, who gets a really good throw in to keep the runner over at second now, and Josh Henson. Great play. Dom Giusti's also got a great arm. We've seen it on display yesterday as well. He can throw a ball.
Well, watch how fast he gets it out of his glove. That's part of the key right here, is that he tracks it, okay, brace, boom, and out right away.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't even give Henson any chance to even think about going to third base. So that's a good play right there. That could come to play a big role in how this game, especially with a 3-0 game. So 2 down, and the catcher, Adrian Marion, is at the plate with a runner on second. The Gulls with a 3-0 lead here in WCBL action at Pogattle Park here in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, Canada. And a good pitch there by Mason Little. Evens the count at 1-1. 67 pitches on the afternoon for Little.
Yeah, pretty good work by him. Efficient 5th inning of work. Good chance we'll see him for at least another inning after this. Nobody even sniffing in the bullpen right now, as it looks like they're going to let Little here ride this as long as he can. I mean, why wouldn't you? When it's not broke, why fix it?
That's right. And they'll know when to but Matt Hape keeps a close eye on everything out there. And Adrian Marion had a close eye on that pitch coming in. The off speed just caught him looking.
He's got the off speed working for him here this afternoon. That's kind of what we saw what Saskatoon did to Sylvan Lake to kind of freeze some of their hitters. The off speed was really seeming to work against the Gulls hitters yesterday, but yeah, Mason Little's working his pitches in right now.
And just off the fist, and that's out to right field to Michael Quick. And he's going to get it in fast enough to keep Henson over at third base. But another base hit there for the Saskatoon Berries. And that might cause some action out in the bullpen for the Sylvan Lake Gulls at some point here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely the emergency button not being hit just yet, but you might start to see that, by the time that you're getting through the batting order for the second time, almost now coming to the third time now for the Berries, they're starting to maybe get a little bit of some reads on these pitches that Mason Little has been throwing here today, and they're starting to get them figured out a little bit. But, Matt Hape's going to come out, kind of calm everybody down, maybe give his bullpen a little bit of time to, relax and give these guys a chance to get out of this inning with runners on the corner.
And it also cools off the Berries. You kind of, now you got the batter coming up, and he's ready to go, and then you call a little time, and you just walk out to and make sure that the umpire gets out there, and as soon as he gets out there, you turn around and go. I always loved that game. I'm just waiting until the ump gets to the mound, and now I'm done.
Yep.
He was probably done like 30 seconds before that, but.
There was one mound meeting this year where Jeff Chipley went up to the mound, and he probably still stood there on the mound with the crew for a good 10 seconds longer.
Jeez. Okay, just probably.
So
They're just having a little nice
they
little
really
conversation.
Yeah, they got their meeting time out of it. That's for sure.
So Mason Little's got the instructions from head coach Matt Hape. It's kind of strange to have to say that, but all those years with Jason Chatwood. Nash Nichols is the batter for the Berries, and he's quickly ahead 2-0 here. Runners on the corners for the Berries. They trail 3-0 here in the top half of the 5th inning. And that is up to left field, and what a catch out in left field by, Elijah Hamill. He doesn't do that very often, does he?
Hum.
Jeez. And that just saved Mason Little. Maybe might have got him an extra inning, but anyways, what a catch there by Elijah Hamill as he tracks that one down. Snuffs up the Berries rally. 3-0 Gulls lead it, and they come to bat in the bottom of the 5th.
A new pitcher on the mound, the first pitching change we'll see of the afternoon between the Saskatoon Berries and the Sylvan Lake Gulls. This is going to be number 41, Brody Wrench, a left-handed pitcher from Battleford, Saskatchewan, goes to the University of Marion. He's a tall boy at that as well. But we take a look at Adam Corte's day of work. He had 4 innings of work. He's given up 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, and 68 pitches on the day. So this is who he's going to have to face, Cleary Simpson. And he's got a wild delivery with that left hand, doesn't he?
He does.
Comes way out sideways, a swinging arm pitch basically that it looks like, and it's like kind of a side arm that comes in. And that'd be a tough pitch to try to hit as a left-handed batter for Cleary Simpson.
Yeah, it looks like he's coming right at you.
Yeah.
Every time, like he's outside of you when he releases the ball.
Like, look at this. He's got a long arm too. It looks like that arm just is probably so close to you by the time he releases that ball.
And he swings that leg. Once he plants, he just swings that left leg around like a windmill.
Yeah.
Oh, Cleary's seen plenty.
Well, and Elijah Hamill on deck, and Elijah Hamill is a switch hitter, so he'll be batting as a right-handed hitter when he comes in.
And Simpson taking all the way on that one. 3-0 count, makes it 3-1 now. Cleary Simpson 0 for 2 on the afternoon, a fly out and a pop up to third base. 3-1 the count, bottom of the 5th inning. Gulls with a 3-0 lead over Saskatoon. And wrench comes in. I know I'm gonna do a pun. I know I am.
I'm surprised it's taking you this long.
Well, I just I got to wait my time. But the Berries are throwing a wrench into the works.
Yeah, there it is.
I'll show my way out.
There it is.
I'll show myself out of the building.
Throwing a wrench into the mix. I of course had to have some Berry fun last night too, with some puns that you would be proud of.
That's very nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I taught you well, Grasshopper.
You did.
Full account now on Cleary Simpson.
They had their pickings with the Sylvan Lake Gulls last night. Yeah? Yeah, see?
Yeah,
I knew
yeah,
you knew you'd like it. I knew you'd like it. The fans at home, we just lost probably 20 viewers, but that's okay. Everybody shut their mute on.
Well, they have no sense of humor then. Come on.
Remember the day that we were up here, and I remember we were in the middle of a game. It was an afternoon game like this, and Saskatoon released their online survey for the fans to pick a team name. And you and I came on the broadcast. We talked about what names should Saskatoon name their baseball club, and I said Saskatoon Berries. And you were like, oh, and then I said, well, I'm going to submit it. And I did. That day I submitted. Of course, I was one of 200, or 300 people that submitted that same name.
Yeah.
But they obviously made it into the final voting stages. And then, of course, that became Saskatoon's Western Canadian Baseball League name, the Berries. And, I mean, what a name it is, too. I love it.
It's perfect. It's a perfect fit, and they've capitalized on the marketing side of this.
They have.
As Cleary Simpson makes his way down to first, he'll bringing up Elijah Hamill. I know one of the options, and I'm so glad they didn't pick this one, was the Bridge Rats.
Oh, yeah.
I know you got a lot of bridges in Saskatoon, and a lot of pigeons go underneath, and I know people say they're flying rats and blah blah blah. No, this one worked really well.
Well, there was also the. What do they call it? The geese.
Cobra chickens.
The Cobra chickens. Yeah, that was another. That was another name that they were looking at.
Yeah, see, that was my deal with the Cobra chickens
I
today.
didn't mind the pirates, or they had some kind of because there's the song obviously, and look at this hit right up the mound, and almost a good stab there by Brady Wrench. That was, Brody Wrench. That was quite the play. He almost wrapped around and caught that without looking.
And with his glove hand.
Yeah, look at this. All the way around. Whoop. Whoa, that almost worked. That would have been a play.
You throw it out there and hope that it hits.
That would have been a crazy play.
He's thinking, I was so close to making, whatever, TSN or Sportsnet highlights.
I mean, that could have made up the rankings on that. Yeah, absolutely.
It would have.
That would have, for sure.
Well, now you got runners on first and second.
And it would have felt bad because we were talking about Saskatoon's team names and stumbling on what they were going to call themselves.
Yeah. Well, no, I distract people.
Yeah, there you go.
As soon as I sit down, I'm a distraction. At least this is what I've been told at home.
From the wife, of course. Yes.
Well, yeah. 0-1 the count here on Coleman Perry, who started things off with a base hit back in the fourth inning. He scored the first run of this game and got things going for the Sylvan Lake Gulls in that inning, where they scored 3 times. He's looking like he's going to bunt.
Yeah, try to advance the runners. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's play a little bit of small ball here on the afternoon to manufacture some base running. Speaking of your wife, which we kind of just slightly touched on, she's kind of becoming quite the Gulls fan. She's been to a couple games this year. I feel like she's been to more games now that you're not here than when you were here in a regular season.
There's probably some truth to that.
She's now trying to get out of the house.
Oh, and Coleman Perry pops this up. And Aiden Marion just has to take a few steps back behind home plate to catch that one for the first out of the inning. Still have runners on first and second, though, as Michael Quick steps in. Yeah, no, I've been trying to get to games, but at the same time, there's in the back of my head saying, if you go to a game, just go there to watch. And I can't do that. I have to talk about the game.
Yeah, well, here's a pinch hitter now coming into the ball game for Michael Quick. This is John Boy Rittenhouse.
Okay, I haven't seen this young man play
you are going to be in for a treat because he is something to watch. Leading this team with RBIs, a runner in scoring position. This is his wheelhouse right here with one away. And he hits usually things like that right down the line that stay just fair and finds ways to get it done. And he can hit the ball a long ways as well. We've seen that from John Boy this year. He's got 8 homers. He leads this team in home runs.
There you go.
And leads the team with RBIs as well at 43.
So this is a good time to put him in. 5th inning, bases 1 and 2 covered, and
And not as big of a high-pressure situation for John Boy Rittenhouse that we have seen in the past. I actually asked him last night after the game, I said, you know, it always seems to fall on the hands of you to keep things going. And I said, you know, what's that like? He's like, yeah. He's like, I know. It has kind of seemed to come across that way. And I said, you know, is that kind of something you look forward to? Does that have any effect on your game? He's like, no, not really. He's like, I just take it as another at bat. But he said, it definitely get more adrenaline in through me. And he said, I definitely kind of ride high on the opportunity. The crowd kind of gets behind me a little bit more. So he definitely does enjoy being in those situations.
Yeah, a wise man once said, pressure's the feeling you get when you don't know what you're doing. And these guys know what they're doing when they get up there. They have a plan.
Yep, absolutely.
And he had a plan to hit this right back up the middle. And unfortunately, that could have scored a run, but Cleary Simpson had to keep an eye and make sure the ball went out of the infield so he didn't get doubled off of second. And so he was headed back to the bag.
Well, exactly. I mean, Cleary Simpson wasn't sure if that ball was going to get past Nathan Houston. I mean, Nathan Houston took a great stab at it, laying out for it, just went past his glove. So Cleary, unfortunately, and that's what happened a lot last night too. The ball was hit well, but with a team that's so good like Saskatoon, you don't know if it's going to get caught or not. So you got to be kind of cautious and have some heads-up base running when you're out on the base pass. And now we got another pinch hitter coming in for Sylvan Lake, and Bryce Turner, who's going to come in for Hunter Durr.
Yeah, Matt Habe using his bench. He's got some depth on that bench, and he's got some bats that can do some damage. So bringing him into the game at a time where, you know, you put 2 more runs on the board in this inning, and it's looking even better for the Gulls to post a W. Bases loaded, 1 down, bottom of the 5th inning, 3-0. Sylvan Lake leading the Saskatoon Berries. Here, WCBL action on Flow Sports. And the count 2-0 in favor of Bryce Turner.
First time we've seen bases loaded situation this afternoon. We saw it a number of times last night. That's kind of what helped Sylvan Lake get things back to even terms against the Berries last night, putting up 5 runs in the 7th inning.
Oh, a 3-0 count, so
Turner's got a great eye.
He does.
And you got Maddox Shaver, who's having himself a pretty solid game at the plate as well on deck. He's the one that had a 2 RBI base hit back in the 4th inning.
So I think Mr. Turner is going to be taking the whole time on this one.
Yes,
I don't think you give him the green light on this one.
No.
And that misses outside, so a 4-pitch walk gives Bryce Turner an RBI and adds to the Gulls' lead to make it 4-0 now. And as you mentioned, Maddox Schaefer with a couple of RBIs back in the 4th inning has a chance to add to that total, but there's going to be a little bit of a break here.
Yeah, Joe Carnahan's just going to come and settle the boys down with bases loaded. Still situation now. 4 runs have come across to score for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and nobody warming up in the bullpen right now for Saskatoon, so this is going to buy some time to maybe get somebody loose and ready in the bullpen and start throwing. Now, we saw a few pitchers come into the last night's game. In fact, we saw about, 4, I want to say, pitchers came in last night's game for the Saskatoon Berries. So it's going to kind of come down to, in fact, no, sorry, there was 6 pitchers that came into the game last night. So
6?
Yeah,
okay.
They used a lot of arms last night to kind of hold the Gulls off, because the Gulls made it an interesting game. And that was kind of what I was wondering, what would, lead off into today's game is, you got to use these 2-game series kind of strategically on what arms you going to put in for which game, and how do you manufacture your arms to keep them ready for game 2, because you've got to do it all over again the next day. And
that's right.
That was such an intense game yesterday. It felt like both bullpens were just kind of throwing everything and anything into the game to kind of try to secure win number 1.
Well, and this is that time of year where jockeying for position, seeing what you've got, what horses are you going to ride when you get into the playoffs, because as we know, not everybody gets a shot in the playoffs. Sometimes what's the old saying, you dance with the one that brung you. And a good play there by Nick Cote as he takes the ground ball from Maddox Schaefer, fires it home to get the force out for the second out of the inning. And everybody moves up 1. But Maddox Schaefer over at first probably wants maybe another shot at that one, because that wasn't the strongest swing.
No, great play by Cote, though, to heads up, bases loaded. You take the leading runner off at home. Don't let them score another run. And now you got 2 outs to work with bases loaded. You can get out of this jam. And you can see the frustration on the face of Brody Wrench right now. And now the catcher's having some words with Rob Allen.
He just got tossed.
And he got tossed.
He got tossed. And the coach is coming to ask why. And Rob Allen will give him the explanation. Yeah. Arguing balls and strikes usually ends up that way.
And it was an explanation that, Coach Joe Carnahan had no response in. He went over, he got the explanation, and he's like, okay, yeah, that's fair why he got tossed. Rob Allen told him what he said, and I think that was enough to be like, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
So now we got to wait, because they're bringing in the catcher from the bullpen to fill the spot now vacated by Aiden Marion.
So here he comes in now. Pitcher's also frustrated. I saw Brody Wrench throw that bag of
resin
down pretty hard on the mound.
Oh, well.
And now he's kind of adjusting himself on the mound.
Yeah, now and this is the delay for him after getting that ground ball and getting the force out at home plate, which helps him obviously. And now he's got to wait to face Eli Duncan, I believe. So.
And let's take a look at the conversation up close here as we watch it go by. And he tries to frame it. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be even. That's not a pitch. Yep. That's not even a strike. I mean, Rob Allen said, no, that's not even close.
Don't argue.
Tried to frame it, and you could tell he might have let out a word that is not in good for this broadcast. So there's a reason maybe why he got tossed.
It's the word I used when I crashed my bike.
Yeah.
Fix auto.
Fix auto. You know it. 47 now comes in as a catcher. Is that 47?
It looks like it, yeah.
It looks like but we don't have a 47 on our roster, so we're going to try to get that here for you in just a moment.
See, this is why I don't do that job. You're way better at this sourcing out. You and Calvin, you both source things out so much faster than I do. I just sit here. Oh, it's a Sunday afternoon. Let's watch some baseball. Let's talk about some baseball. And now I think we're almost ready to go. Eli Duncan will step in. He was hit by a pitch last time up, but he comes in here with a bases loaded situation. And we got a pinch runner as well going out to second base for Bryce Thompson, I believe.
So we got the new catcher in. That is Aiden Kilshaw.
Okay.
Coming into this game, and you said there's a
number
pitch runner
22
now over at second and that is going to be Griffin Cato.
Bryce Turner, that's right. That's who he took.
But
okay.
And online this says Michael Saul's 47, but we just got word from the PA announcer, Joe Whitbread, it's Aiden Kilshaw. So I don't really know, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. There's a few different names being thrown at us.
Somebody's out there catching for them now.
But Sylvan Lake Gulls number 22, that doesn't seem right either. Griffin Cato's a pitcher. Why would he come into pinch run?
I don't know.
Broken
And
bat,
there
though.
There goes the bat, and over to short, and a one hopper, and that might have pulled him off the bag. Ooh, I don't know. Matt Hape, yep, he's out of the dugout. He's going to talk to Don Buskus. No, he's going to talk to Rob Allen and say, you sure he was on the bag for that? And he's going to go out and have a little chat with Don Buskus, and Don says, yep, I knew you were coming out. I don't know. We got the replay there, Calvin, or hard to tell. I mean, it's good play there by
hit pretty good into the hole.
Nash. One hopper. And it's hard to tell.
Looks like that toe did fall off.
Yeah,
before he made the catch.
I think it might have, but Matt's not. He's got his defense out there already. So
we'll be back with the 6 when we come back. Back to the top of the batting order we go. 6th inning. Sorry, Jim. Didn't mean to cut you off there. Brock Laird will lead things off here. The Gulls with a 4-0 lead over the Saskatoon Berries, and Mason Little still on the mound for the Gulls.
it was one of those off moments where I was paying attention. I said, "Oh, we're back." And we're back. No. 4-0 Gulls lead it here. And like you said, Mason Little back on the mound, and that double play earlier, and then the catch by Elijah Hamill, that brought Mason Little back for this inning, I believe.
Well, they are getting some arm loose in the bullpen right now.
Yeah, he's upwards of 70 pitches, and I think he just...
Ouch.
I thought he he must have hit the bat.
I think it hit the bunt end of the bat. Let's take a look at this here. Right off the bunt end of it. Yeah. Right off the end, and then right into the mask. And, of course, an accident. Brock Laird instantly saying, hey, man, sorry.
Yep.
My bad. But he had no control over where that ball was going to go.
No.
So 0-2. It will count as a foul ball.
Yep.
Even though it was well inside.
Brock Laird is 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Fly out to left, or fly out to center, fly out to right. Top of the 6th inning, Gulls with a 4-0 edge. 5 hits, 4 runs for the Gulls. And the Berries with 0 runs on just 2 hits. And that's into the hands of the second baseman, Maddox Schaefer.
Yeah, great call by Maddox Shaver, too. You could hear him from up here in the broadcast booth calling Coleman Perry off. No, got it. And great communication there out in the field. We've seen it already this year where the communication may have not been there and a couple guys run into each other. But luckily there, Sylvan Lake has been pretty spot on with their defense here this afternoon.
Yeah, 76 pitches for Mason Little. So like I say, you're getting up in that area. Once you start getting in the high 80s, low 90s, And this is, Elijah Hamill blew a tire as he tried to take off for that one, and I'm pretty sure he would have caught that one, but a base hit for Ethan Murdoch.
Yeah. Yeah, you could just tell Hamill saw that ball coming his way, he got excited, and he took a couple steps and then just took a little slip there in left field. Otherwise, that was a chance to get caught. He's not looking at his cleats now. I mean, we did get a pretty good rain here at Gulls Field last night, and I'm not sure if they got any more overnight, but there might be still some wet conditions out there.
Yeah, it might be, yeah. Field looks great, though.
It looks amazing, doesn't it?
Always does.
Well, that's in great part due to, the field maintenance workers here. We got our official scorekeeper, Dave Elwood. He does a great job helping keep this field maintained, as does Joe Whitbread's son, Cannon Whitbread, also working for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, keeping the field in great order.
There's a little looper out to right field to keep this going for the Saskatoon Berries, as they're starting to mount a little bit of an attack here, and that might get some urgency in the bullpen there, as Mason Little has been touched up twice now.
Yeah, Saskatoon, you don't want to wake their bats a lot up here at all, and they're starting to kind of come alive here in this 6th inning, and we even saw a little bit of that in the 5th inning. That was their first base hit, was back in the 5th, so they're starting to get some momentum here.
They are. Gail Salinas, their number 4 hitter, steps in to face Mason Little for the 3rd time in this game. He walked in the 2nd and struck out in the 4th to end the inning, by the way. And Little is up 0-1 on Salinas with 1 down and runners on 1st and 2nd. And Salinas calls time.
Well, we do have some warm-ups going in the bullpen right now, and that is a familiar name you're going to remember, Jim. Jackson Zanoli getting loose for the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Yeah. First time I saw him when he came out of the bullpen and he ran on the field, he was so pumped up. So this is a reliever. And there's a little scooter down to the right side of the diamond, and that will score the first run for the Berries. As a base hit, 3 in a row now for the for the Saskatoon Berries, have brought them to within 3 of the Gulls.
And I think that's going to be the night and the day for Mason Little. He looks back and he tilts his head up at the sky, just not happy, wants to stay in this game.
Yeah, you can see it just by his body language.
Yeah.
He says,
He wanted to get 6 full innings in this afternoon, but, I mean, still, you got to give the kid credit. He had a terrific day and a great start for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. That's what they needed out of him, and he gave it to them. He delivered. Obviously not happy with how it's ending his afternoon, but very great work for Mason Little. We'll step aside, let Zanoli throw a few, and we'll be back with more Gulls baseball. Kid from Central Alberta comes into this game in relief for a great start from Mason Little. And we take a look at what Mason Little did here this afternoon. He had 5 1/3 innings of work, gave up just 5 hits, 1 run, only walked 2 batters, but he had 3 big strikeouts. And here they are there with 81 pitches as well on the afternoon. So he had a full day's work, and he did a great job to keep the Gulls in the lead, now up 4-1.
Yep, and Zanoli inherits the 2 base runners, but they are the responsibility of Mason Little as far as the statistics go. And Zanoli starts off things with a nice pitch, a strike to Josh Henson, who got on base in the 5th with a single, made his way all the way to 3rd, and that's where he stalled. So a double play would be in order here, or a strikeout, or a little infield pop-up. I'm giving him all sorts of options.
Absolutely.
Just,
and I mean, it's got to be hard for Saskatoon. You see a right-handed pitcher come in. He's throwing a lot of off-speed stuff that's kind of got you fooled. And then you throw the left-handed pitcher in, and he kind of does similar things, but from the opposite side. Not easy to pick up on.
Not easy is right. Ooh, that was a nice pitch.
It was. Trying to get him to chase it.
Yeah.
Good take there by Josh Henson. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. And then he advanced an extra base by a throwing error on Eli Duncan.
And that misses up high. Evens the count at 2-2. Runners on the corners for the Saskatoon Berries. They trail the Gulls 4-1 here in the top half of the 6th inning. The Berries with 1 across the plate already in this inning with 1 down. And Jackson Zanoli with a very timely strikeout.
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, absolutely huge. Kind of comes up and away from the batter. Henson chases after it, and he was still catching the corner. It was a great pitch.
Oh, look at this. Yeah. He's got that demeanor of a closer or a relief pitcher. He's like, yep, I got this.
I think he's dialed. Yeah.
I think he's dialed.
I think that's what we like to call it.
And there's a ground ball down to short. Jaden Flores just too deep in the hole there. Oh, no, that's Maddox Shaver, sorry. Oh, that is Flores.
That was Flores, yeah.
That is Flores, yeah. I actually got that one right.
And another run comes in to score as well.
And that does bring in the second run for the Berries on a sacrifice hit there by Nathan Houston.
Well, that just goes by the speed of Nathan Houston as well. I mean, some guys would not be able to beat out the throw like that. Some guys would get picked off from a throw and deep in the hole from Jaden Flores. But Houston, he has the speed. He got there quickly, and he got an RBI single out of it. Now cutting this lead into half. So just like that, the Berries kind of lurking in the background right now.
Well, we've said it before. This is not a lower echelon team that maybe you could beat up a little bit. No, these guys are a full-on, well-developed, deep team with skill.
Great pitch there.
Yep.
Nick Cote, the DH, knew it right away. Now we'll get a little meeting between Eli Duncan and, of course, Jackson Zanoli on the mound. Get on the same page here.
Big young man, Jackson.
Yeah.
He likes to pitch.
Well, and just like that, the Berries don't get their first hit until the 5th inning, and now they're all of a sudden out hitting the Gulls 6-5.
Yep.
That's how it works when you play good teams. Once they get the momentum rolling, once they get things figured out, hard to slow them down after that.
You are correct, sir. And a ground ball, and Cleary can just take this and go to his own bag and gets out of the inning with a force out over at third. And that is, the damage was done with the 3 straight singles, but they do get out of it, only giving up 1 run. 4-2, Gulls lead it as they come to bat in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Well, new pitcher on the mound for the Saskatoon Berries. They're going to go to the local kid, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, number 39, Carter Kopp. There are a lot of Saskatchewan kids and ball players on this Berries team. 13 Saskatchewan kids.
Saskatchewan's always been kind of a hotbed for the game of baseball. There's been a lot of good teams, good players that have complemented teams that have come out of Saskatchewan in any level, kind of thing. And it's just it's good to see.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So Dominic Giusti will lead things off, followed by Jaden Flores and Cleary Simpson here in the bottom half of the 6th inning as they face Carter Kopp, and he hits Dominic Giusti.
Yeah, he wears it, and he'll gladly advance to first to lead things off in the right way in the bottom half of the 6th inning. You take a look at the replay here, and goes right off the side of the 4, and that'll go back to the top of the batting order. Jaden Flores, Cleary Simpson, Elijah Hamill, the 1-2-3 hitters.
You know, when you get a free pass like that, when a guy hits you, that's when your teammates want to pick it up and say, okay, we're going to score this guy and make him pay for hitting him.
Yeah, I mean, Juicy's had a great game. Center field, he's been making some great catches. He's got on base now 2 out of the 3 plate appearances.
Is he a base stealer?
He can. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, he sure can.
Because he's got the wheels. I just wonder, some guys that are really fast in the outfield, not so confident of their speed on the base pass.
No, he's definitely a threat to steal. He's got the good sliding mid on his left hand. He'll be ready to maybe advance. But you know what, Jim? We saw it. We saw it a lot last year, maybe even 2 years ago. The base running was aggressive under the head coach authority of Jason Chatwood. Now you got Matt Hape. You see a few bases being stolen, but not nearly as many as they were sending the last couple of years.
All right. Not as scheming as Coach Chatwood.
Yeah, no, not quite.
No. Well, you've got a lot of good bats on that bench too in your lineup, and you know, maybe that first steal by Jaden Flores and get thrown out by the catcher Marion, but he's not in the game anymore, so we don't know what this guy can do from behind the plate with his arm. So
yeah, Gulls lead. Actually, the Gulls' leading stolen base tally is to Charlie Collins and Maddox Shaver. Collins with 17, which is 5th highest in the league, and Maddox Shaver with 16, which is tied obviously for 6th highest with 3 other players.
Okay. That's the 6th walk given up by Barry's pitcher, and they've also hit 3 batters, I believe. 1, 2, 3 that I see on my sheet here. So that's 9 free passes that have been given up, and yet they only trail by 2. So good teams work their way out of dilemmas like that, and the Berries are one of those teams. But the Gulls need to cash in on those mistakes, and they haven't so far. But
well, and an error credit on either side too for both the Berries and the Gulls, and you know that was something that we talked about going into yesterday's game. The night before, the Gulls got a win from Regina Red Sox, and that was in good credit to Regina's defense helping the Gulls score those runs. Not a lot of runs were batted in. It was a lot of errors and mistakes that the Regina Red Sox were making that were cashing in runs. So I said last night, you're going to play teams like this. You can't bank and count on teams like the Saskatoon Berries, like the Okotoks Dogs, like the Lethbridge Bulls to be making these mistakes that are going to give you, you know, fair margins and leads in runs. This has been most surprising. Last night, Saskatoon had 3 errors in last night's game, and that doesn't normally happen.
No.
So Sylvan Lake definitely, when teams like this are going to give you free passes like that, you got to take advantage.
You betcha. That's a very good assessment. And
great bunt.
Very good bunt by Cleary Simpson. As he moves Giusti all the way over to 3rd. Jaden Flores is over at 2nd, and very good bunt by Simpson.
Yeah, a nice sacrifice bunt to do the job, move the runners an extra bag, and you know now got 2 runners in scoring position with a huge bat coming to the plate, and Elijah Hamill.
who's going to hit left-handed this time.
Yeah, he will. He's kind of been going back and forth here.
What do you think? What's his power side? Do you think more right
So
or left?
I asked him. He said he honestly believed it used to be his right, but because he's been batting so much left this year, it's now his left, he thinks.
Okay.
I think it's honestly a 50-50 with this guy. He can send it over the fence on either side of the plate, and he has done that already this year. We saw it from the right-handed side. We saw it from the left-handed side. It's absolutely insane.
What a
It's
skill.
very impressive.
That's a skill to have, been able to hit right-handed or left, and he's behind 0-2 right now. And I think he's he's seeing the ball differently than home plate umpire Rob Allen.
Well, here's a guy who's got a base hit as a right-handed batter and a base hit as a left-handed batter in the same game.
And he's done it again today.
Yep, and how about an RBI?
He
Maybe
could be
make
drive
that two.
Yep. They're going to send him, and no play at the plate there. As 2 RBIs off the bat of Elijah Hamill, and that is taking advantage of a walk and a hit by a pitch, and that's what you're supposed to do.
That's just what Elijah Hamill does on any given afternoon or evening. 23 RBIs now on the season. This kid can do it all. He can hit it over the fence, he can hit it in the gaps, and he can make you pay in a big way.
And he can act.
And he can act as well.
Ryder from the Paw Patrol. I told him, I said, I'm going to work
He's
into the
famous.
broadcast.
Yeah, he's famous.
And I said, so how did you get into that? He says, well, he says, my parents, they got us into acting, and I did an audition, and they said, yeah, we like you. And I did it for a year and a half, and then my voice dropped, and they kicked me off the show. You're sounding too much like an adult.
Yeah.
Puberty got you out of a job. Sorry, son.
Wow.
But there you go. It's
really cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've talked about this before, and we said it, I don't think we can say it enough, is that these guys are all good baseball players, but they're good people, too. They're good human beings, and I think that's part of the culture that Graham and Jen Schetzel and Jason Chatwood and Wyatt McKnight and Matt Hape have all brought together in the 5 years that they've all been together. 4 for Matt and Wyatt, but I guess this is the 5th year, I guess, for them. So they were up there for the All-Canadian year that we were up for.
Yeah. Well, the bullpen revolving door is opened.
Yeah,
obviously.
and you made a good point in the boardroom there when we were talking about that All-Canadian season, that you and I did a first. We were the first people.
We were the first employees to be able to work out of this clubhouse in the stadium. Yeah, pretty cool.
That was I you know what, didn't even dawn on me. And then now that you mentioned it, I thought, yeah, standing in the concourse, doing a game, with the broadcast, and people are walking up behind us. Hey, what are you guys doing? Yeah, we're doing a baseball game. This thing out here, microphones, camera,
Yeah, I think that might have been partially why they're like, let's get these guys in the booth away from the crowd so they don't get distracted too much, because I think we get distracted enough as it is on our own.
Well,
and,
hello, guilty.
Yeah, guilty over here. Yeah, but no, it is really cool. It's been fun, Jim. Since year one, you and I have been in this broadcast booth working the games, and to be trusted by this organization year after year to keep coming back, we couldn't say more enough about Graham, Jen, the Schetzels, Akil Samuel, the leadership group, of course. You got the Fawcett's as well. It's been incredible. It's been a ride.
It has been, and I'll tell you one other thing, and I've noticed this in this game, how you guys, and I say you guys, I mean Calvin and Mitch and Martin and everybody in that booth, and Blake Meister, the production of this broadcast now it just keeps going higher and higher, and I knew when when I first signed on for this with my friend Calvin Bellows that it wasn't going to be chicken. You know what I'm saying. So thank you guys for having me back, by the way. I'm enjoying this.
It's been a fun afternoon. We're glad you could come back and fill in for a game, and you know what, you're always welcome. Obviously, this is your home too.
Thank you.
Like Matty Funk said it best, Sylvan Lake's his second home. Well, Jim, this is always going to be your home.
Do a little something with the air conditioning, though, I think.
Yeah, it's getting pretty hot now as Coleman Perry hits this on the ground. Maybe a double play to get out of this inning, and it will be that, as the Saskatoon Berries do get out of this inning, but the Gulls match the runs that the Berries put on in the top of the sixth, thanks to this guy, Elijah Hamill. Goes in, hits left, drives in 2 runs, and they're back up by a 4-run lead heading into the 7th inning.
We are back here, top half of the 7th inning. The Sylvan Lake Gulls, after scoring 2 in the bottom half of the 6th, have a 6-2 lead over the Saskatoon Berries. And have we figured out this young man's name yet?
Yes, it is Aiden Kilshaw, who came in to fill in for Aiden Marion, who got tossed in this ball game. Aiden Marion said something that Rob Allen did not like, and he got thrown from this game. So this is the first at-bat for Aiden Kilshaw since coming in.
There you go. And he faces Jackson Zanoli, who's taken over from Mason Little, who had a good run, I thought, over the 6.1 innings.
Yeah, absolutely.
He threw well, and he just got into a little trouble. And this is going to be no trouble at all for Dominic Giusti. He just covers a lot of ground.
Doesn't he? I mean, he's had a really great game this afternoon, been busy out in the outfield. That is another putout. You know, that is 5 putouts by Dom Giusti out in center field this afternoon.
He's had a busy day, and he's been full marks for all those putouts because they've been not little, what do they call them? A little can of corn.
Can of corn, yeah.
Easy fly ball.
They've been some line drives.
He's had the hustle. Direction. Absolutely. He's had the hustle. Yep. So, and between him and Elijah Hamill, that left side of the diamond, and the right side of
Michael Quick's been busy too.
Yeah, he lives up to his name.
Yeah, there's been a lot of fly balls out in the outfield today.
And a nice pitch there by Zanoli as he just takes a lot off of that one.
Yeah, that was a defensive, lazy swing there by Nash Nichols.
Yeah. It's like, what am I swinging at?
He was basically just trying to kind of hit something there.
And Zanoli comes inside and misses down low. 1-2 the count now on Nash Nichols. The center fielder for the Saskatoon Berries. Struck out and flew out to left field. And he's out into left field again. And Elijah Hamill watches it land in front of him, and he gets the ball in. So a base hit there for Nash Nichols.
Yeah, good spot. You know, dropped it short. Elijah Hamill couldn't quite get there in time. And another line drive into the outfield, and Berries regain the hitting lead as far as this game is concerned. It's a Gulls 6-2 lead, but Berries, since the 5th inning, have really generated some berry jam with the bats and have got some momentum in their favor with how things are going.
They've been musical reference here. They've been Bob Marley. We've been jamming.
Been jamming. Yeah. That's a great song. That's my favorite.
Isn't
one of
it a
my
good
favorite Bob Marley songs.
Yep.
Actually, we grew up as kids growing up to listening to Bob Marley. Anytime we went out west, that was the summer playlist.
Cool.
Bob Marley would come on the boat when we were on the lake.
I mean, he's no Kid Rock, but
no, of course not. Another looper that will fall into the right field.
These soft contact hits by the Berries are, a hit's a hit, as I said earlier.
Absolutely,
so it works for both sides. And that'll bring up Ethan Murdoch, a dangerous bat here.
Yeah, and they're kind of starting to get into the meat of the order right now, and that's just one of those things that Saskatoon was doing so well in last night's game, is finding ways to put the ball in play. It wasn't hard hit contact all of the time. They just knew how to find the holes and the gaps.
Yep. A base hit is a base hit. So runners on first and second. First pitch to Murdoch is outside for a ball. Little action in the bullpen for the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
And it looks like it's going to be 36 Seth Mahler getting loose yet again. He was in last night. Came in relief for an inning.
I mean, it is an off day tomorrow for the Gulls, is it not?
Yes. Yeah, you bet it is.
So with an off day, they might want to use their bullpen as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, but then things get busy after that. This is their only and last off day of the regular season tomorrow before the playoffs. They got 10 games.
That's right, a doubleheader, right?
In the next 9.
And a doubleheader that is, both games are 9 innings long, from what I heard.
Yeah, you might be right on that. Two different teams.
Yeah,
so it's
two different
going to be a busy, long day here at the ballpark.
So the 3-0 pitch. And Murdoch taking all the way and brings the count to 3-1. And out here, without giving up a run, would be big. You know, you you matched what the Berries did in the top half of the 6th. And now the bases are loaded after a walk here from Zanoli.
Oh boy, bases loaded.
Things are getting interesting.
It is definitely getting interesting. Saskatoon kind of trying to play a little bit of what Sylvan Lake did to them last night with trying to pull off a late game comeback in the 7th inning. Very exact same stages where Sylvan Lake got things going in the right direction for them last night, getting some momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily for the Gulls, it's 1 away. Last night, there was 0 away when the Gulls had bases loaded situation. So a ground ball would be probably kind of huge right now.
Yeah, double play, get you out of the inning. All sorts of things. Every base is in play for the force out right now. And Zanoli starts Rel with a strike to go up 0-1. 1 down, as you mentioned. 6-2 Gulls lead it. And Zanoli up 0-2 now.
I mean, that works too. You know, if you could be a pitcher and you could take care of business yourself, yeah, that's one way also to try to get out of an inning.
Most pitchers will tell you that's what they like.
What they draw it up as, yeah.
They like their defense to help them, but you know what? I put this in this problem, I'm going to get us out of this problem kind of thing is sort of the mindset. We've heard from so many pitchers that have come up in this booth. And Zanoli tried to come inside with that one, and he didn't miss by much on that pitch.
No, he sure didn't. That was a good take by Rel to watch go by.
This is a big out, I think, in this game right at this moment. Top of 7, bases loaded. And Zanoli,
wow. Tried to frame it. Eli Duncan, got to give him credit on that one. That was close. And another very close, hard take to have for Mason Rel.
Count even now at 2-2. And that's fouled out of play. Onto the berm. Heads up. Oh, just missed the truck. Miss you guys. So still the count 2-2 on the DH Rel. And Zanoli with a big strikeout there and a good play there by Eli Duncan holding on to that tip.
Yeah, and he kind of showed it like he found it in a lost and found. He just like showed that ball right to the umpire like, oh, here it is. By the way, I caught it. Yeah, we can call that a strikeout. Great pitch by Jackson Zanoli, and now that is a huge out. You were saying a pivotal moment in this game with bases loaded, 2-away. The job's not done yet, though. You got one more batter to face.
You still got a dangerous bat
here. This guy is very dangerous.
Cleanup guy in Gale Salinas.
Already with an RBI base hit in this ball game. Great grab there by Duncan, too. You can't let anything go past you either at this point.
Yeah, this is it's a tense situation, but, I mean, this is what these guys play for. They put me in this one.
Yep.
You know, let me see what I can do with this. And I think this is Zanoli's inning to get himself out of, as the bullpen is quiet now.
Yep, I agree. I think they're going to let Zanoli get out of this inning. Maybe we'll see Mahler come in for the 8th inning and 9th inning, or at least an 8th inning, and then maybe they'll throw another guy in for the 9th inning.
Yeah.
It's kind of, textbook for what Sylvan Lake wants to do to end things here.
And I find it interesting that the Gulls didn't put a right-handed pitcher in to face these guys coming in from Mason Little, because I don't think he's faced a left-handed batter, has he?
Oh,
I don't think he. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is what I came for, is to test you.
Yeah.
See, I don't pay attention, and I see if you are.
Yeah, well, you could be right.
But I'm just thinking, it's like, okay, you have, right-handed pitchers. But I mean, maybe matchups don't mean anything in this league at this level. I don't know. If you're pitching, you're pitching. But I know left-handers like throwing at lefties, and lefties hate having left-handed pitchers up there. And that's out to center field, and Dominic Giusti says, yep, I got you. I got you, Jackson Zanoli. You just throw it, let him hit it out into my area. And so Zanoli gets out of a bases-loaded jam. They don't give up a run. We are going to the bottom of the 7th with the Gulls holding a 6-2 edge over Saskatoon.
Beautiful afternoon here at Gulls Field. If you want to take part in a full day of baseball, then you should be here on Tuesday because we got a split doubleheader against two different teams, full 9-inning games as well. Lethbridge Bulls will kickstart that doubleheader on Tuesday at 2:05 p.m. first pitch, and then the Brooks Bombers roll into town for the 7:05 p.m. start as well, and it's going to be a full day of baseball on Tuesday here at Gulls Field. They're the makeup games, of course, the Lethbridge game, that makeup rainout game from earlier on in the season. So definitely get your tickets today at sylvanlakegulls.com. And John Boy Rittenhouse is in here for Michael Quick.
Yeah, and we've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Berries, too, it looks like.
Oh, is this
41?
Clay Mixon is still in, yep. Mixon came in the last inning.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
I did not see that. I thought Carter, the kid from Saskatoon, was still in there.
And there's a catch.
See? This is why I'm not allowed in the booth anymore.
Yeah, right. No, Clay Mixon came in kind of late stages of that sixth inning in for Carter Kopp. It was kind of when we got into a little bit of that talking while he was warming up, we were doing our thing here in the broadcast booth, reminiscent of our good old days.
Yeah.
Back together once again. Reunited. The gang's back together.
The band's back together.
Yeah,
where's Yoko Ono to break us up?
Yeah.
Paul McCartney always said that. You know how Yoko got her name. Here comes Yoko. Oh, no.
Well, here is a new hitter, though,
Yes.
for Sylvan Lake. This is, so it was Bryce Turner last time. Now they're just keeping the DH role going here, and this is number 40. And I'm trying to find who that is.
Dane Liskey.
Okay,
yep,
Dane Liskey.
From the prep team,
yep.
Who just finished second in the tournament, second in the nation in that tournament down in Okotoks.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That is.
I mean, for
Dane
a prep
was all
team,
smiles. He had a couple of home runs. He says, "Yeah." He says that was because I see all this stuff posted. These guys post all their stuff, and I just love seeing the reactions and whatnot. So.
From Drayton Valley, Alberta, getting a chance to come into this game, and it's a strikeout on Liskey. So 2 up, 2 down so far for the Berries, and that will bring up Maddox Shaver. He's got a couple RBIs in this game.
Yeah, he got the ball rolling there back in the 4th inning with a 2 RBI single. And now it would be interesting to see if Jackson Zanoli comes out for the 8th inning.
Yeah.
And
this is a well-hit ball, Jim.
That's goodbye. Adios, amigo.
Welcome back to the home run count. Maddox Shaver with his 8th homer on the season. It's a solo shot to deep center field. Gulls up 7-2, Jim.
Wow. Kid's got some power. That was impressive. Oh, yeah. Nothing livens up a bench than hitting one over the 400 marker in your home park on a Sunday afternoon with the lake just down the road from us. Water is beautiful. A lot of beach on that lake this year.
There is a lot of beach. The lake a little low, obviously, over the past 2 summers now. I think that lake has kind of come down quite a bit. Good to see the rivers high, though. There's been a lot of great runoff from the mountains out west.
Yeah.
In fact, they've had flooding out west from all that runoff.
All
Some of
that
the golf
water.
courses in Alberta have been flooding. Kananaskis Country Club is flooded.
They were a little nervous when that started to happen.
Absolutely, because obviously a deja vu for them. That would happen back in 2013 for them. And then, of course, Banff, had a little bit of flooding as well.
Well, a fly out there by Eli Duncan to left field to bring the inning to a close, but the damage done by Maddox Shaver as he knocks one over the 400-foot mark, and the Gulls with a 7-2 lead. Berries coming to bat in the 8th.
Welcome back to Gulls Field. It is a gorgeous Sunday afternoon here at the ballpark, and as the WCBL's league saying goes this year, summer's always better at the ballpark, and it really is this year as the Sylvan Lake Gulls have a 7-2 lead over the Saskatoon Berries in their rematch, the second of this 2-game series, and small series that is, between the Berries and the Gulls. I really wish these two teams played each other more. It would make for some more great rivalry in the league, but of course they're on different divisions, so you're not going to see them as much. And in this league, they take turns hosting each year. So last year, Gulls visited Saskatoon. The year before that, Saskatoon, which in their inaugural season was here at Gulls Field.
Yeah, it's a good setup for the teams. They get to see the other parts of the country. Great play there by. Sorry. I'm watching the play and I'm thinking, wait a minute. And Jaden Flores over there at shortstop. Sorry. That was well done.
Yeah, well hit though. Ball by Henson deep in the hole as he has Flores on the dive and can't make the throw in time.
I catch myself watching the game right now.
Hey, you're allowed to do that sometimes. You know that?
Well, pay attention though is what I need.
Well, it's been how you've been a year. You haven't called the game yet this year.
That's right.
But doing a great job back in the broadcast booth. It's great to have you back.
Well, it's fun to be back.
We're more than happy to always have you, obviously, and
it's good to see a lot of people that I haven't seen in a while, and just being at the ballpark is always a good feeling.
Yeah, sure.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, you were here in the pregame season. You came here for the Red Deer Riggers, and then you came here just a couple weeks ago. You were a guest on the broadcast.
I was.
And that must have been different for you as well, being a guest instead of being the guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys, you grilled me.
Well, we tried.
Yeah.
We tried our best.
And that pitch from Seth Mahler is sent out into shallow left field. Elijah Hamill's got a beat on it, and that will bring the first out of the 8th inning with a runner over at first. And Seth Mulder, another one of my Sylvan Lake Library book readers that I got to meet for the first time. Nice young man. Seattle Mariners fan because he's up in Washington State.
Okay, yeah. Great kid.
They all were, it was fun. And Seth, very, very polite young man, and enjoyed talking with him and meeting him for the first time. And he's loving Sylvan Lake. So is Coleman Perry. He was the other new guy. Matthew McKenzie, of course, was here last year. Always smiling.
Yeah. It's not very often you see a relief pitcher come in back-to-back games either. He came in last night for a couple innings, had 2 innings of work, and just gave up the 1 hit as this is a dribbler. Right to Simpson.
Oh, good play
nice
by
throw.
Clary Simpson. Yep. He hasn't missed a step, has he?
Nope, he sure hasn't.
I mean, we've seen Cleary play first base, second base, third base, and shortstop. Not so much first base. I think he went there once in the years that he played here. It was what, 4 years?
Yeah.
This will be the 5th, I guess.
Yeah, I would.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he came in for a little bit. Was it last season he came in, or it might have been the year before? I'm starting to get my years mixed up, but I think last year, he came in and that was wild. He was in a boot too. Remember, he had an injury.
That's right. He had hurt himself.
He was hurt for a good chunk of majority of his season, so he didn't really get to play a full summer with the Gulls last year. He was in a boot, and he came in late stages, played a couple games, but didn't play a lot. Just got a little taste of it.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you're getting here today, a little taste of the action again.
Oh, this is the full meal deal.
Getting the fix.
Well,
taking care of that fix for you.
Don't put any thoughts in my head. And that's ripped right back up the middle by Kilshaw. That'll score a run as he knocks in Josh Henson from second. And Berries aren't giving up, and we didn't expect them to anyway, but that'll bring up Nash Nichols, who had a single back in the 7th inning. It was one of the ones that loaded got the bases started, the bases loaded action started. But they walked away with nothing on that one with some good defense and some good pitching. And this is out to Elijah Hamill, who doesn't have to even take a step in. And makes the grab out in left field for the third and final out of the inning. The Gulls get away with just giving up the 1 run. 7-3, Sylvan Lake leads. They'll come to bat in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, a new pitcher on the mound, and this is unique. They're kind of getting into the positional players now. This is Eric Aguirre, who played right field last night for the Saskatoon Berries, now on the mound to try to close out this game. And we look at the Saskatoon Berries schedule. They don't get a day off tomorrow. In fact, they don't really get any days off, I don't believe, until the playoffs start. They got 9 games left. They got a 3-game set for Mad Hat. In fact, actually, sorry, I lied. They got 10 games left. 3 games set against Mad Hat. 1 against Swift, 3 against Regina, 1 Weyburn, 1 Moose Jaw, then they're done.
Wow, that explains why they're going not to their bullpen, but to a position player. They got to save their arms for that stretch of games.
Yeah.
Because they're fighting for first place.
They are.
Yeah.
Currently tied with Moose Jaw Miller Express, and I can, in fact, get a live out-of-town scoreboard update for you, as there are 7 games taking place on this Sunday afternoon.
You betcha. Busy Sunday.
It has been.
Inside, 2-1 the count on Dominic Giusti, who's had himself quite a game with his glove, and he's added a little bit with his bat.
Yeah, he's come around to score. He got on base 2 of the 3 plate appearances. Not necessarily the way that you draw it up, but doesn't matter. He's had an impact in this game, and that was smashed.
Whew,
turned on it in a hurry, and that has maybe a vehicle in mind. I hope it doesn't come close to mine, but that probably put a dent in somebody's vehicle.
I parked on the other side this time.
Good idea. Yeah, smart man.
Well,
that was a lot of power coming off that bat. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been no doubter. And there's a 1-hopper to short.
Deep in the hole.
Nathan Houston with the scoop and the throw. And the first out of the 8th inning is Dominic Giusti. That'll bring up Jaden Flores, who's been on base 3 times, 3 walks, and then a fly out to center field.
So I just got word here looking at this website. The Lethbridge Bulls were supposed to play a doubleheader in Energy City against the Cactus Rats.
Uh-oh.
Guess what?
Canceled.
Postponed.
Oh, boy.
Both games.
Was it weather?
I don't know.
There's a base hit for Jaden Flores right back up the middle as he keeps this inning going for the Gulls. So he's been on base 4 out of 5 at bats today. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
That's what you want your leadoff guy to do.
3 walks. One of those walks, he came around to score.
And just what did Matty Fung say when you talked about Jaden? He said, "Oh yeah, I was player of the game, but I didn't do anything."
Yeah, Jaden didn't.
You were on base.
Jaden didn't know why he was picked as player of the game last night by Scott Stimson and myself, and me and Scott both looked at each other and were like, it's one of those nights where it matters most to get on base.
Exactly.
Maybe he wasn't hitting the ball to get on base, but he was still getting on base and finding ways to contribute to the scoreboard, and he did. And then defensively, in a very timely moment, that's kind of what solidified our pick for him for player of the game, was the Superman catch at second to keep that ball from going in the outfield. That would have probably kept the inning going and even maybe scored a run to then give the Berries another lead heading into the late stages of the ball game, that Sylvan Lake just recently tying it up.
And Cleary Simpson rips this one into right field for a base hit.
Clutch Cleary back at it yet again.
And I've talked to Cleary before the game here and asked him how he's doing. He said, really good. And I said, what about down in Marshall? I said, you were down there with that team down in the States? And he goes, I love it. He says, really, really good. And his sister, Paige, is down there at the same college, and she is just lighting it up for the softball team, and not only for Marshall, but for Team Canada.
Paige, I believe, right?
Paige Simpson, yeah. And that's what I said. I remember Cleary saying, I said, who's the best baseball player in your family? He says, my sister.
Yeah, he didn't even try to fight it. He just admitted right away, Paige is definitely
but then he
the
adds,
better ball.
but I showed her everything.
Yeah, he joked
How
around.
to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, you keep thinking that way. But Cleary's a pretty good ball player in his own right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
We know that. And just an all-around good person. He's always smiling, laughing, having a good time. He enjoys himself, as he should. And this is Elijah Hamill, who can actually put, nail in the coffin, maybe a 4-run lead. If you cash in a couple more here, that might just do it. But I don't let say anybody's out of this game. Teams can score 5, 6, 7 runs in an inning in this league sometimes, and
well, he's definitely the reason that kind of allowed the Gulls to stay in such a solid lead. I mean, Berries were starting to push there in the 6th inning, adding 2 of their own. It made it a 4-2 ball game, and then Elijah Hamill came to plate, and he drove in 2 runs to go back up by 4 runs.
And then I don't want to overshadow anything, but then I'm looking at my score sheet, and I go, 5th inning, Berries had 2 guys on, and Elijah Hamill made that outstanding catch in left field to bring the inning to a close. So he doesn't make that catch, they score 2 runs, maybe end up with a guy on third base. Different complexion of the game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we got our work cut out for us here with the EG Auctions Player of the Game. We will have that for you post-game here with Jim, myself, and then, of course, down at field level with Joe Whitbrett. Full count.
Yep. Elijah Hamill, bases, runners on first and second, and this is well hit into.
Smashed.
I think that might be out of here, and it is. What did I say?
Yeah, nail in the coffin from Elijah Hamill. Have yourself an afternoon, my friend. 8 homers on the season. That's being a big one. 3-run shot over the right field wall.
Yeah. And I watched the Berries right fielder, Gail Salinas, and he punched the wall. He said, oh, I should have had that. No, you weren't going to get that one. Sorry, son.
What an afternoon Elijah Hamill has had. He has gone 4 for 5 at the plate.
With 5 RBIs.
With 5 RBIs.
Yeah, that's an afternoon, all right.
Oh, my. Like this kid. And the amount of times he has been the player of the game, the player to watch, the guy that's had the impact when he needed it. Him, John Boy Rittenhouse. There's a lot of guys that have, done great jobs. But my goodness, Elijah Hamill, he's consistent. He's one of those.
Right.
He's one of those guys that's just, you can rely on him in a big moment.
And he said to me earlier, he said, I've been struggling a little bit with stuff. And I said, oh, okay, it happens, The best of the best struggle at times. I don't think he's struggling today, as you mentioned. 5 RBIs.
Wow, that's just wild.
Yeah. And it probably, Coleman Perry is giving it like, ow, with that, ow. Come on.
Well, Hamill only went 1 for 4 yesterday, but he did get on base due to a walk as well, and he came around to score once.
Okay.
So even on a quieter night, he still somehow has an impact.
Yeah, you know what? You just never know what play is going to make an impact in a sport. Whether it's hockey, football, baseball, basketball, it doesn't matter. You don't know when it's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to happen. But when it happens, you just have to understand and say, yeah, you know what? I did something there. And embrace it. These guys sometimes are a little too humble. Which I guess is not a bad characteristic to have.
For sure. Yeah,
when I see some of the antics that go on in sports these days where guys celebrate, the 8th goal in the period, and it's like it was the first goal in overtime or something.
That was a well-hit ball high in the sky. That almost left orbit and came back to earth. But good catch there by the center fielder, Nash Nichols. As Coleman Perry, he can turn on one in a dime as well.
Yeah, he's got some power in that bat. He's a big kid, and he certainly likes to play the game. And he's very good over at first base.
Oh, he's so good.
John Boy Rittenhouse. Love that name.
Isn't that fun to watch? Fun to say? And
that's a movie star name.
Yeah, it really is.
Or not. It's a pretty good baseball name.
I was going to say it's a baseball. It's a name. I mean, that's a name that you don't really forget. And he has made a name for himself here in Sylvan Lake. A lot of the fans know exactly who John Boy Rittenhouse is.
Yeah.
He's made a name for himself and has quickly become a fan favorite.
I'm sure there's a story behind the name. But nobody's asked him?
I haven't asked him.
Okay. Does he go by John?
Nope. He goes by John Boy.
John Boy. Okay. I'm learning stuff.
Because we asked him. Yeah, no, absolutely. We asked him at the beginning of the year. We're like, is this right? And even the guys in the WCBL and Joe McFarland and Clark Monroe, they're like, it's almost not even real to say this guy's name. But that's it. That's it. It is his name. And he doesn't, he doesn't go by really anything else.
I saw it in the box score when I started watching the box scores and that, and I went, that's an interesting name. You will remember my name. 3-2 count on Rittenhouse. Bases empty right now, courtesy of Elijah Hamill with a 3-run shot to right center. 10-3, Gulls lead this one. And I think, what is he doing? Yeah, he's calling him out. That was kind of a Rob Allen saying, yeah, I know. You tagged him with your glove and the ball's in your right hand. Yeah, he's out.
But how about this? Elijah Hamill just puts the nail in the coffin. 10-3 heading into the 9th inning. It looks like Seth Mahler's going to get another inning of work here in the 9th inning. It'll be up to him to close things out. And like we mentioned, the Gulls go on a little bit of a day off, and a probably needed day off just to kind of recoup and reset.
You just plunked Brock Laird in the back. So we're not done yet.
Maybe not. No.
But yeah, no, you know what? At this time of year, after the amount of baseball that these guys have played, 40 plus games to this point? A day off is welcomed at any point in time. But remember that last year they had that stretch, what was it, 12 games in a row we played?
Oh, yeah.
And, that was...
In like 11 nights or 10 nights or something.
We had a
silly.
couple of doubleheaders.
Yeah.
I think there was 6 or 7 in a row here at home.
Yeah.
That was a tough stretch.
Oh, it's busy. And this is a new batter for the Berries.
Nick Stenson.
Yeah, Stenson comes in.
So the Berries are down to their last 3 outs. Trailing here in the top half of the 9th inning, 10-3 against the hometown Sylvan Lake Gulls on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Lake Country here in central Alberta. I think a lot of these guys are just going to walk down the street here to the lake and just walk right into the water.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame them. I mean, a beautiful night to go, and got nothing going on tomorrow. Maybe it might be a little bit of Lakeshore Drive might be bumping tonight, maybe for all we know. Who knows? Some of those pubs and restaurants and things like that going on.
It's usually a busy place.
No day off, no work tomorrow for the Sylvan Lake Gulls team.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if, I know in past years there's been some billets that have taken the boys out on their boats.
That's right.
And I'm not sure necessarily if that's going to happen tomorrow for the team or if that's going to happen at all this year, but I'm sure they would welcome it with open arms.
And this is a little looper over to shortstop, and Jaden Flores takes quick work of that one for the first out. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Mason Rell, who has struck out, walked, singled, and flew out to center field on the afternoon. And I think right now it's just about to the point where the Berries are thinking, let's just, get out of the sun and
get ready for Medicine Hat.
Get ready for Medicine Hat, yeah. And there's a ground ball to short, or second, I should say, and a double play to end the game as Maddox Schaefer and Jaden Flores turn the twin kill and get the Gulls into the win column with a 10-3 victory.
Yeah, great bounce back game from last night. The revenge, the redemption by the Sylvan Lake Gulls. They get the offense going. They get the defense a great start defensively as well. They shut down the Berries early on. Don't give them any signs of life or hope early on. And then they kind of get the bats going in the 4th inning, and then they just don't turn around from there. And 5 straight innings after that, they put runs across the board. 3 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and again 3 in the 8th. They just didn't slow down once they got those bats going.
No, and you said it at the beginning when I asked you a little bit about what the makeup of this team is, that, the pitching, when it's on really well, and the hitting seems to be the common denominator all the time in these games, is that if they're hitting well, watch out.
Absolutely. And Sylvan Lake obviously going in a day off tomorrow, going to just need that confidence coming into now Tuesday's doubleheader. It's going to be a busy day. That's 2 big games and 9-inning games as well. It's a lot of baseball on a Tuesday. And so, I'm hoping that they get their rest tomorrow, because they're going to need it for a busy week and a busy, closing out of the regular season as well, because there's only 9 games left for the Sylvan Lake Gulls moving forward, Jim, and it's going to be huge.
Clock's ticking.
Clock is ticking, and that standings board right now is also kind of getting closer and closer. It's starting to fade away from first place from them. So the wins need to be coming for the Sylvan Lake Gulls if they want to get themselves into great position in the West Division standings. We'll take things down to field level. Joe Whitbread standing by with our EG Auctions Player of the Game.
To our Player of the Game, presented by EG Auctions. Behind home plate, please say hello to Elijah Hamill. There you go, back in the win column. I know you wanted this one specifically because of the loss last night. How does it feel?
Feels really good. Great response from yesterday. I mean, guys came out swinging. Mason did his thing today as the starting pitcher, so just a good response from yesterday.
You're absolutely right. Talk a little bit about your pitching staff. There was a lot of, there's always eyes on your pitching staff, but I thought they're doing the job they can do. It didn't go their way last night, but it certainly could have, and Mason, as you said, did a great job today.
Yeah, no doubt. The thing about them is they're there to attack. They attack hitters. They force them to put the ball in play, and whatever happens, look, they got 7 guys behind them, so, we'll do our job, and they just throw strikes, and it's going to go our way.
And how about that 3-run shot? That is a long bomb on a Sunday afternoon. How'd that feel?
Oh, great. Needed one, so there it was.
And while they're still here, how about this fan support this weekend? 3-3. These guys are unbelievable.
No doubt. You guys are incredible. Thank you guys for showing up every single day. This is great. Love it.
There you go. It's Elijah Hamill, your player of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to sign some autographs, and we're going to release.
Yeah, Elijah Hamill said it best. Got the pitching when they need it, and that's what I want to talk about is a definitely do note and mention on a couple guys that should have been also the EG Auctions player of the game. Mason Little, of course, was definitely at the top of that list with the way he started here today.
Absolutely. He threw the pitches that he needed to throw. He kept a very powerful, potent offense in check and allowed his guys to find their stride at the home plate. And it worked out for everybody. Everybody did the part that they needed to play, and they played it perfectly.
Mason Little with 5.1 innings of work, 5 1/3, I should say, 3 strikeouts, 81 pitches. He just gave up 5 hits and 2 runs on those hits and just walking 2 batters. So really good by him. Jackson Sinoli also came in, shutting the door, doing a really good job as a left-handed pitcher. Kind of gives a little bit of a different look to the Saskatoon Berries offense. And then, of course, Seth Mahler comes and closes things out and shuts the door and just giving up the 2 hits on 1 run. So pitching staff got the job done today when maybe it wasn't going in their favor yesterday. But then, like we talked about, the offense, also some defensive plays. Another key mention we want to make is Dom Giusti in center field.
Yeah.
Incredible plays that he was making out there. The ball was hit to him at least 5-6 times this afternoon, and he made them look easy.
He tracked them all down, and this is the first time I've seen him play live.
Yep.
And I was impressed. I mean, this Gulls team, they're meshing, and it seems like they're meshing at the right time now. You're right, 5-5 in their last 10. This is another streak they're starting. Maybe they can finish out the season.
Yep.
Can they catch Okotoks? I'm not sure, but you just never know. Never say never. And see where that plays.
Elijah Hamill going 4 for 5 today and 5 RBIs. What a day he had himself, as he is our EG Auctions player of the game. We saw all sorts of grabs, including that one by Dom Giusti. Great to see you, Jim, back in the broadcast booth. It has been way too long. And seeing Matty Fung back at the ballpark, too. It was a day of returning familiar faces here at the ballpark. It was Sunday, fun day, hot dog eating day if you're Kai Rempel as well. But some really big faces we got to see here today on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon, and the baseball couldn't have been any better in favor of the home team. The Sylvan Lake Gulls getting the job done. Saw a little bit of frustration setting in for the Saskatoon Berries, but the Gulls just kept riding the wave, and they kept things going over the fence like they do. Maddox Shaver joining the party, Elijah Hamill joining the party, and a doubleheader to finish things out. For Jim Cleggett back in the broadcast booth, Calvin Bellows at Green Onion Media, I'm Cale Clark with another Bird's Eye View. We'll see you on Tuesday.